Welcome back to the party, everybody. This is Morty, and I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you, and let's party. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Very glad to see all of you. We've got an interesting show tonight. We don't get to talk about cops and whether we're pro-cop, anti-cop, bootlicker, blue line, all that stuff. We don't get to talk about that very often. So I'm very happy that anarchist Michael Malice dressed up for the occasion for the IRL culture war debate, and it's a good one. So let's dive right in. As always, guys, if you can hit the video, please do it. Let me know.
This is the second live culture war at the DC Comedy Loft. We've got a great panel here. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very funny. I imagine it'll be a bit contentious. This is the great police debate. Why don't we start from the right and have everybody introduce themselves?
Hi, my name is Rich. I do things on the internet, and I'm also a police officer on YouTube's called Angry Cops.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of Angry Cops? I'm not familiar.
You guys know who I am? Primetime 99. I am
Let's
the
go.
pimp on a blimp, and I say, fuck the police.
I would gladly get fucked by that man.
No Diddy.
That's
Hey, everybody. I am Michael Malice, and I'm here to remind you that the cops are not your friend, that you can talk your way into an arrest, but you can't talk your way out of them.
Facts. Morty in the
I'm Jason
building.
Ellis. I'm a criminal. I was born in the streets, so I want to say fuck the police, but I really like them. But I don't know. Fuck everybody.
Right on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am Tim Pool, your host, along with co-host Alex Stein. This is gonna be a lot of fun, and of course, I think to kick off the great conversation, I will start with the truth, and that is no cop anywhere for any reason has ever done anything wrong.
I disagree.
Yeah, disagree.
So you guys admit that you're corrupt? Okay, debate, you lost.
Yep.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, you guys, let's get out of here.
I guess it's over. We'll all give up now and let Baltimore go back to what it was.
Yeah, okay. Because there's no cops in Baltimore. What I want everyone here to realize, because this is something I'm being very serious now, despite dressing in my clown costume, is that
Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
right? Okay, if you think this is flattering, that speaks to you. What I want to point out in all seriousness is
Spicy. He is not here to play.
it doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, communist, anarchist, fascist in your day-to-day life. What matters is how you interact with the police. And you need to appreciate that they are not there if they show up to never talk to the police. They are there to hurt you by their own admission. And I want everyone to repeat after me something very simple. It's all I want you to think today. Cops are human beings. Can you repeat that after me? 1, 2, 3.
Cops are human beings.
And
So we can clearly see Michael Malice, he is a full-blown anarchist and does not like police at all. And I generally have, with the, we have the running poll right now. Are you more pro or anti-police? And ironically, it is at 50-50. But I would put myself more in the anti-police side, but only slightly, because I do have a very strong belief in law and order and that stuff, but it's the cops themselves. And I don't know. What do you guys think?
human beings are capable of great heroism and great evil. And you'll hear my colleague throughout today acting as if cops aren't human beings and they act differently than other human beings. They do not. They are human beings, period. And that means certain corollaries, which I think most of us understand, what you look forward to us exploring today.
So I have a question.
Period.
Because there's that famous Supreme Court Justice.
Castle Rock?
Is that who that was? And he said never talk to the
Oh, no,
police.
he was a former attorney general.
Attorney General.
Yes.
Here's the issue is that I've had people try to kill me and my
Who's
family.
talking over there?
Someone, they should not be. No, so
Am I going to have to?
Security!
Already abusing authorities. One of us. One of us.
Okay, here's a serious question.
I do appreciate that aspect of the culture war where there are serious issues, but we don't have to pretend like, it's we can't still joke about it and stuff.
My family's been threatened. We've had crazy people show up threatening us. We had a guy show up to our old property and attack one of our employees. I have no choice but to talk to the police.
Because of the police, correct. So if you had a different kind of...
Well, no, because we want to stop them from doing it.
And did they do that?
The people, they stop?
Yeah.
So I'll put it this way.
Them? Did the cops do the job they claimed they were going to do?
Probably not.
It's
Probably
like C plus.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you have a producer on your show, I'm sorry if I'm interrupting your guys' conversation.
Shut the fuck up!
Michael Malice is not here to
If you
play.
have a
Disorderly conduct.
if you have a producer who's what is wrong with these people? If you have a producer who's not doing their job, you get rid of them. If you have a photographer, if you have a sidekick, co-host, whatever, you get rid of them. It is when you have a monopoly on a service where there's absolutely no accountability. If you watch I know how many people here have been burglarized. I hope it's few of you, but some of us have. There's not even if Amazon doesn't deliver a package, you get a refund or store credit. If a store doesn't deliver a product, you get a refund or store credit. It is only a monopoly when there's actually not even a pretense that, yeah, we're here to protect you, but if we didn't, well, tough shit, there's nothing we're not even gonna pretend to do something about it. And everyone just kind of takes this as a given because this is the world we grew up in. And my point is, it's not at all acceptable that someone who takes a job onto themselves and who doesn't deliver, you're just like, oh, well, what are you going to do? That's all I'm saying.
Fair point.
I definitely agree that the way the system plays out, the way it works, is far from ideal. And where I think I'll start to divert from Michael is when he won't really have any alternative or any plans. It's very easy to be like, that sucks, that sucks, that sucks, that sucks. But if you don't have any solutions, then, well, we don't.
Point. We did hire private security after this.
You had to.
Yeah.
And you pay a lot in taxes. And if that money was being used correctly, this problem wouldn't, those people would be in the ground.
Yeah, Rich.
And real quick, Rich.
I'm on Michael's side.
Well, I want to say this, though. As a black man, like, I get pulled over all the time for driving while black.
Yeah.
And you're always like, oh, you have weed. Yeah, I have weed. But I mean, I shouldn't be racially profiled by, some bald asshole, like yourself. So
Stop slinging that big fat black dick and banging my white wife.
that's true. You are right. You have a good point. So yeah. I just, what do you say about that? That sometimes some cops will target people or minorities.
That's because we have small penises and we're jealous of the amount of money that they make tax-free from selling drugs.
This is
All right.
He's my favorite cop. This is a good cop.
And Michael, you're very intelligent, and I respect you, and I'm glad that you dressed up like me. Maybe unintentionally,
The
but the
feeling's not
mustache looks
mutual.
great. But I had to push back on the monopoly thing because there's tons of private enterprises that do private security work, including people that fight against the exploitation of children and work alongside police and do better than police because they're privatized.
Correct.
So yeah, we don't have a monopoly on protecting the American
You have a
citizen.
monopoly on arrest. You have a monopoly on putting people in jail. And it's always a given that if there's an emergency, there's not a 911 that is like an Uber service for people who have to maybe be qualified, pass certain certifications, and then they can have a rating
Wait,
based.
I'm sorry, there is now. We covered this. It's called like Protect. It's in California. They're starting to make them.
Sure.
Uber for
That's
security.
exactly what should be universal.
And there's police boards that state or they go over.
Interesting. So instead of like calling a central hub, you have people who are working as a police and they're on their beat or whatever, and you hit the app and that goes directly to them. It sounds good to me.
For like a police officer's background and their complaints, and they're part of the community. They're part of like a mayoral or
Right.
city thing.
So we all know what happens in schools. I know someone who's this mentally handicapped guy who's doing a lot of great work because teachers unions do a great job of protecting the predators from having any consequences for their behavior.
It's very true.
And do you know
We all love unions here, right?
why? Because teachers are human beings, and unions will act in a certain way. They will protect their own, and that is their job to protect their own. So when teachers act inappropriately, it takes a lot to get them fired. And here's the thing. I know that my colleague and I can't lie because cops only tell the truth. # believe cops. So everything I say, you should double check for yourselves, right? So Google what like police, teachers unions, and sexual abuse, and the results will shock you.
All right, let's do it. He said teachers, unions, and sexual abuse. Let's see what that brings us. Come on. Teachers, unions, and what else is there? Sexual abuse? And sexual abuse. Oh, Jesus. We got a lot here. Let's see what the first one is. Hold on. Can you see us? Yeah. We'll get a little bit closer. Workforce committee, blah, blah, blah. This report highlights a pattern of gross misconduct by school officials and the Department of Education who are beholden to teachers' unions to conceal, directly or indirectly, sexual abuse in K-12 public schools. At the very most, that is an 18-year-old, but probably not. The Department of Civil Rights is complicit too. OCR has worked to reverse the progress made by the prior administration to compel school district officials to take decisive action in cases of sexual abuse. In no uncertain terms, this report shows that the Department of Education and teachers unions are putting children in harm's way. I hope this report sheds a spotlight. And damn, I didn't expect it to be like that. We will fact check, and the facts have been checked.
Google what police, teachers unions, and sexual abuse, and the results will shock you. Now, the idea that the police unions are going to be any different would only be true if cops aren't human beings. They are human beings, and unions act identically regardless of the field. Their job is to protect their own people from any consequences. And there's story after story. Let's look at the Eric Garner case.
Before he goes into that, it's interesting how he's not taking the position that like, oh, cops are not even human. He's a little bit more grounded about that and saying, no, they're human beings. And even in the beginning, he said human beings are capable of heroism and really, I don't remember what word he used, but bad stuff. And I think you find a lot of FTP, ACAB type people who will exactly say, oh, they're not even human. You're a pig. And there's strength in keeping that responsibility on the cop and not saying, oh, well, you're just a cop, so you don't know any better. You are a human being who is a cop, and human beings should know better.
People from any consequences. And there's story after story. Let's look at the Eric Garner case. How much money would Nancy Pelosi have to give you to put your hands on someone for selling cigarettes? It's insane. And none of those people lost their jobs without any consequences for it.
Yeah, I don't know how much. I mean, maybe $1 billion. $1 billion.
The only person who went to jail in that situation was the photographer.
Really?
Is your mustache coming out of your nose? It's so tight. You guys can't see it. It's like right in the hole.
It's rooted in the brainstem.
So I have a question.
The brainstem's in the back.
Ooh.
So when I said that we had
you wouldn't know that, right?
we had a crazy guy come to our property, attack one of the residents there. I said I have to call I talked to the police, and he said because the police make me. Who is going to track this person down and identify them and then lock them up if there were no police?
Well, I don't think that person necessarily should be locked up. I think that person should be in the ground, frankly, number one. Number two is I don't really know necessarily what the alternative would be. Let me just, hold on.
If only we had some.
So that needs to be a central part of what you're talking about. Because like, for instance, with myself, I talk about how I think that we need a societal moral structure that is secular in nature, but has a lot to do with Christianity. And I don't know exactly what that is, but I make that a big part of my message. I don't have the answers yet, but this is what I'm working towards. And which is, I'm biased, but I think that's a fair position. But what's not fair is to just point and be like, well, that sucks. And then when someone asks you, okay, well, what do we do instead? Mm-hmm. You got to have some idea of like, what direction should we move in? What steps can we take to fix this?
Number two is I don't really know necessarily what the alternative would be. Let me just, hold on.
If only we had somebody to investigate it.
And okay. Well, see, he's gonna have to use a lot of sarcasm and quote unquote humor because he knows his position's indefensible.
I mean, I thought they were all just having fun, but Michael Malice is not here to play.
Use a lot of sarcasm and quote unquote humor because he knows his position's indefensible.
He's funny.
Let me.
I'm not finished. To answer
you trashed it, and then you said you don't have an answer to it.
Ooh.
He's a black woman, and he has the right to speak.
Okay.
You talking about me or him?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. In that case, I'm finished.
Okay, but here's the point. You said that guy should have been in the ground.
Yeah.
In this scenario, when someone comes into my property and attacks one of the residents, you would agree that, or is the position then put him down, shoot him?
Yeah. And let's talk about how the cops enable this sort of situation.
So okay. I don't want to get you up. So address that one. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So if you look at cases like Jordan Neely in New York, if you look at the 2020 riots, there's a great example of this. The cops have no interest or obligation to enforce the law. Every so often, they're just going
to protect and serve is bullshit.
Say, yeah, you know what? We're not going to do anything about it. And you have absolutely no recourse. In fact, they are far more interested in arresting and persecuting people who are there enforcing the public safety than they are in attacking and harming criminals. Like I said earlier, if someone burglarizes your house, you can have no consequences whatsoever. But if that person steals from a CVS or whatever, they're on the streets in 5 minutes and the cops just shrug their shoulders. The cops have a lot of influence with the politicians who give them orders. And you do not hear them saying, wait a minute, You guys are legalizing shoplifting, and this is causing problems in the community because they are just there to follow orders. Now, cops, again, are human beings. They are not sociopaths. They just follow orders from them.
Ooh, that's another good line. Cops are not sociopaths. They just follow orders from them. Shout out to the viewerski. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you, sir. Said lawful citizens are very lucrative. What do you mean by that? Like if you don't break the laws that you'll have more money?
What?
I don't know what you mean, but welcome.
And that, I think, is something far worse than not having a sense of right and wrong yourself. It's when you take obedient orders from people who are depraved, like Gavin Newsom,
Dogma.
like Nancy Pelosi, and just close your eyes and do whatever they tell you. So regarding your situation, it is crazy to me that the only solution we're put forward is you have to call the government, and the government's not going to do a good job of it. So I'm not going to even deny, for the sake of this debate, that the cops are a necessary evil. But I'm just going to have everyone walk away, I hope tonight, with understanding that nevertheless they are an evil.
But it sounds like your argument is more so because we're forced to pay for it.
Well, it's not that we're forced to pay for it, but B, they're not doing what we're paying for. I have
And there's no accountability.
no problem with like food stamps, right? We're forced to pay for it. But if no one's starving, great. And if it's wasteful, I don't fucking care. Like, I don't want to see starving kids. You know what I mean? But if you're going to take money for security, why is there any crime at all?
I mean, I get that's kind of a good question. I understand the point that he's making there, but that's not a realistic view of the world. Well, you're supposed to help crime, so if there's any crime, you fail. That doesn't seem like a realistic standard to have on anything.
Oh man, I've got like so many rebuttals to the thing that you said. I wish I had a notepad. One, why do police officers get unions? Unions are bad. They only protect the person. Because there's bad people that take advantage of complaint systems, so then they complain about police officers that are proactive. Two, if you don't want police officers showing up, how do you want us to be proactive? You don't want us to be proactive, but you want us to show up when a crime happens and solve it. You don't want us to be proactive to stop the burglary from happening at Tim's house. Second, what was the other one? There was another one.
Shooting the guy dead?
Shooting the guy dead. Well, that's not good. What if he's accidentally trespassing, even though you didn't properly label the signs? Now you killed somebody without justification. So
That's where I was going to go too. Is like putting him in the ground. Like that's a good thing. That's a strong thing to say. But do you really want people just killing each other on the slightest offense?
make sure that happens. How does that happen? Rules set in place by the government, whether it's local, city, county, etc. Geez, what did he just end on?
I don't know, but Rich, I have a question.
No. I have to take a point because he did something that's very dangerous, and I want you all to realize what he just did.
Dangerous man.
You are, because you can kill people with no consequences.
That's not true at all.
Okay, cool.
I mean, better than anybody else in that room, unless they're also a cop. If we were all going to murder somebody, you'd be the first one to get off. Morty is here. Morty is chilling. I don't know what happened before, but you guys know how like with the thunderstorms, he gets all like in his chihuahua shake, and randomly, I think he was having a bad dream. Because we were just hanging out before, and I got you. And he just kind of popped up, and then he was like, I think he had a nightmare. But this should help him. Shout out to TV Viewerski with a $10 PayPal. Of course, every donation comes with a treat for Morty, setting Morty up. And of course, that gets us started on that Swogo, guys. Don't forget, 15 donations in total, or $50 total gets me on the ground. Look how puny I am, guys. TV is the first one getting us started. What do you mean? The Nathan Fielder thing? Oh, man. We got to look up into that, but let me update the banner. Thank you so very, very much, sir.
He
I'm
just
a dangerous man.
You are, because you can kill people with no consequences.
That's not true at all.
Okay, cool.
There are some.
Hold on.
I just dealt with riots from George Floyd.
Okay, that's cool. I'm speaking now. No cop ever does anything bad. Just like if you go to jail, no one's a criminal. Just ask them. But again, he's one of the good ones. It would apply to me. He said I like that I don't want the cops to be proactive. That speaks to motive. Now imagine if I have drugs, it's intention to distribute. If we're talking about manslaughter versus murder, talking about motive.
Oh, okay. I was like, there's no way. But hey, glad you're here. Glad you are here, sir.
If I have drugs, it's intention to distribute. If we're talking about manslaughter versus murder, talking about motive. He is comfortable getting on a mic in front of everyone and that's being taped and putting words in my mouth. Now imagine a cop has a bad day, you're arrested, he has to testify. he will have no problem saying, I heard him say it. I heard him say he doesn't want us to be proactive. Now it's your word against his, and you've got a jury, half of whom are going to be complete idiots and think the opposite of you. It's 2 against 1. And this happens all the time. I don't care what anyone thinks about me tonight. I care about what you walk away with and realize if you talk to the cop, you just saw he didn't hear everything I said and remember everything I said. I don't blame him. But what happens when he writes that police report? What happens when he testifies against you? You are fucked.
And I think that's an interesting point. But again, I think if Michael were here actually to have the discussion instead of just be like, this is what I have to say, I don't care about anything else, I think that would do better to get people on your side. We have to understand what your side is before we agree with you.
Well, I just want to say this, and Michael makes some good points. And I would say overall cops probably aren't bad, Rich. But my question for you is, when you looked at the pandemic and you saw some like the mask police, they're actually using people like yourself to enforce stuff like wearing a mask. Like, is there a line that you would draw where you're like, hey, listen, I believe in the First Amendment more than I believe in my superior telling me what to do?
Yeah.
Or are you just going to follow orders blindly like Michael says?
Right.
Because a lot of cops did, but a lot of cops were gracious to people like myself that didn't wear masks. So I guess how much personal responsibility do you get even as an officer?
Guys, don't forget, it is free to chat. It's not just TV and me hanging out. Tell us what you're thinking.
So I want to say that Michael is right in some aspect of this, right? There are people that follow rules, and those rules are bad, and they shouldn't follow them. However, on the same side, or opposite side of the same coin, there's a thing called police discretion, which I've used before, which says that if I look at something as an individual that happens to be a police officer, and I deem that I don't want to do anything about it, good or bad, we can debate that later.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say, is that one could make an argument that police discretion just means whatever you feel like.
I can choose not to. And I'll give you a personal example of how I did it in the right way. And that's New York State has very strict firearm policies. I had somebody that came from out of state that had a legal permit from out of state, but in New York State didn't recognize that pistol permit. I pull him over. He had marijuana at the time. It was illegal. I pull him out, search the marijuana. He tells me he has a firearm in the car he's carrying legally. He's not in New York State. What do? I unload the firearm, put the firearm in the glove compartment, I put the ammo on a seat, and I say, hey, I'm not one of those New York City cops that doesn't like guns. I'm all about you.
I'm one of the cool kids. That's exactly what Michael's thinking. That's exactly what that laugh was.
And I say, hey, I'm not one of those New York City cops that doesn't like guns. I'm all about you carrying legally. Go home. If you load it, keep it in your hand, in your, whatchamacallit, the glove compartment. Thank you. And you'd be great on the stand. And and take it back to the state that you're from. Make sure you follow all traffic laws.
I'm all for freedom as long as it's legal.
I mean, goddamn. I don't love the position that Michael's taken. But he is laser focused. He knows exactly what he is here to do.
You're from. Make sure you follow all traffic laws.
I'm all for freedom as long as it's legal. What he just admitted to everybody, shamelessly, is that he only enforces the law when he feels like it. There is no.
Oh, come on! He's saying that he uses discretion. I think that's. I think that's a little different.
I think Michael doesn't like that.
No.
Well, but that's the semantic obfuscation. It's not a different thing to say I'm using discretion than to say I'm going to determine. That is what that means. That doesn't mean that you're just flippantly like, maybe this one, maybe that one. But it does mean that it comes down to what you feel like.
That he uses discretion. I think that's. I think that's a little different.
I think Michael doesn't like that.
No. Let him speak. Let him
Yes,
talk.
I am going to.
Well, and I think the fact that people are not understanding where Michael's coming from on at least that particular point proves how important it is that Michael's here to say it.
Look, there's no other product or service where if the person has a good day or bad day, it's what's going to happen as a result of it.
I mean, you've clearly never gone through a drive-through.
Not true. That's not true.
You go to any store and you ask the barista for coffee, they're not going to be like, nah, I'm not going to give you
What
coffee.
about the, what is it?
If
The
you go-
Malaysian flight MH370, right? That pilot was having a bad day, and then they all died.
We're talking about America.
No,
Michael.
they got teleported away
Michael,
by orbs in the sky.
Michael, the bartenders right there can get in trouble for overserving. They can choose not to overserve you. Isn't that?
Sure. So
That's definitely a good point as well. But it does underline what Michael's saying, that it is your discretion. Dr. Michael, airline pilot. He's wearing many hats today. He's wearing many hats tonight.
Bartenders right there can get in trouble for overserving. They can choose not to overserve you. Isn't that?
sure. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is
See, and this is what I mean. That he's like, I don't talk to cops. And he's like, it's kind of a bit, but it's kind of not. And so he's not engaging in the conversation. and he has interesting things to say. But if you're not going to, it's easy to just talk unchallenged and sound like you're smart. But I think the cop just brought up a really good point, and he's just like, yeah, whatever, you're a cop. It's like, yeah, that's what we're here to talk about. The police do remove your rights. That is the difference, and that's what I would love to see how Michael Malice would articulate that. Which, no, I'm not going to ignore it.
I am going to ignore it because this is a distraction. Because the bartender doesn't have the problem put you in a cage. Only cops have the discretion, as he pointed out, that at any time they can throw you in the back of their cop car, throw you in a cell, say disorderly conduct. They've got, and the thing is, cops come in pairs. They have to, right? They have to have backup, and that makes sense. So I brought my backup here as well. 1 second.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I hope you brought me a wig.
This is Officer Oinks-a-Lot.
Officer Oinks-a-Lot.
I wish you would have called him Babe.
No, Babe's cute and shouldn't be shot.
Wait, that's a boar, not a pig.
Yeah, because inside every cop is a feral pig that is one comment away from putting your head through a wall. What's that over?
Yep.
That is one comment away from putting your head through a wall. What's that over showing a lot? Google domestic violence rates in police. Well, you shouldn't trust what this pig has to say, but I would hope everyone at home Googles that. And here's something else about.
All right, another Google. What do you say?
What's that over showing a lot? Google domestic violence rates in police.
Domestic violence rates in police. All right, Michael Malice giving us the side quest here. Whoa, wait. The studies vary very explain very. Oh no, okay. Okay, so let's look at a particular study. This is a .gov. Oh no, let's go with the .edu. .edu. Oh, give me this shit. Fine, whatever. Take your fucking cookies. Oh, come on. The most recent research in police domestic violence has shown that officers may perpetrate DV at a higher rate than the general population. 28 versus 16%. Not good. Traditional police subculture has been identified in several studies as contributing to higher work stress and using force on the job. This research, however, has not fully examined the link between adherence to traditional police subculture and officer involvement in domestic violence. The study attempts to identify whether officers who adhere to aspects of the traditional police subculture are more likely to use violence against their intimate partner using two types of domestic violence, physical assault, and psychological violence as well. I'm looking for using a survey created from existing scales. 250 officers were contracted within departments in Central Florida. 90 officers responding. They used whatever this model is, and it said 20. What did it say? 28% versus 16. Yeah, so the general police officers 28% versus 16% of the general population, and that is statistically significant.
From putting your head through a wall. What's that over showing a lot? Google domestic violence rates in police. Well, you shouldn't trust what this pig has to say, but I would hope everyone at home Googles that. And here's something else about the police.
You did.
In the same way that obnoxious people who talk too much are drawn to podcasting, as the three of us can attest.
Everyone.
Sorry.
Everyone up here. And in the same way that people who want to prey on children go to where the children are, violent people are going to be drawn to jobs where they're able to use violence without impunity.
I mean, how often have you seen like I don't remember who it was or what the context was, but I remember when I was younger, I was in high school, and I was talking to somebody who was a few years older, and I don't even remember the conversation or the context or anything, but I remember them saying, you will be surprised at the people who you go to high school with, which one of them become cops. And, you know, that happened and whatever. I lived my life. And it wasn't until And I was going home for a break or visit friends or whatever, and I saw somebody who used to be like this goth dude. He's super badass, and he was always badass in a like he thinks he's a badass. And he was kind of a bully. And what did he end up being? A cop. A cop. And it's happened, plenty of other times since then. But and then I have one of my good friends from way back in the day. Her boyfriend at the time, the only dude that ever hit her, was a cop. Shout out to Abe Dinkus. Welcome to the party. Very good to see ya. We are talking police and cops. Are you more pro police or anti-police? Let us know in the poll.
And in the same way that people who want to prey on children go to where the children are, violent people are going to be drawn to jobs where they're able to use violence without impunity. It's a small percentage, let me be clear, but cops are human beings, and human beings act in certain ways. So if I'm someone who's a sociopath, I'm going to be a politician. If I'm a loudmouth asshole, I'm going to be a podcaster. And if I'm someone who likes to take out his violence on other people legally, I'm going to end up as a cop.
Well, actually, I have a question.
Personally.
Wait, no, I want to ask this question, though, Michael. Would you think it would be better if we used AI robots as cops?
Better in what way?
Like, do you think that would help protect citizens more if these were AI robots doing this?
I depend on who would program the AI.
Yeah, that's a good point. Depends on who programs them. She said, I hate to say this, and I'm not sure that it is the solution. Expand jury duty into police ride-alongs. Meaning that if you're called for jury duty, because if you're called for jury duty, there's already a docket on the, there's already a case. So you mean you have to just go on a ride along before you sit on that jury? And then what? Won't we, mate? Okay. You guys see this? I don't know. It's not showing up on my thing. I don't know what's going on. We struggle streaming. All right, well, we'll run through it. I think. Let me know if you can hear it. I can see the video's not moving. It should pick back up in a second. But, oh my God, what the fuck? No way, dude. No way. No. Okay, successfully connect. Okay, we're back. Jesus. All right, we're back. What do we miss here? As a random objective observer, I can see that. I mean, yeah, I see where you're coming from. I know that you're not presenting, we should do this, but that adding that into the fold could definitely help. Shout out to Maverick, being Frank. Welcome to the party. Said, remember, petition available to sign to deport all atheists. I'm good. Maverick said, saying there are no good cops is shocking. Well, that is exactly what Michael Malice thinks. So let's see his reasoning. Welcome. Of course, you guys do me a huge favor and hit that like button. I would very, very, very much appreciate it. It's free. It's easy, and it helps out the channel so very much. Thank you.
Depending on who would program the AI.
Did you see Elysium? They were very mean in that.
That's what I'm saying. That movie, the AI cops are dickheads.
You're not even allowed to do sarcastic robot voice.
They didn't even use discretion.
I can't.
Yeah, see? So, I don't know.
That dude dumb for no reason.
That never happens in real life.
Michael, I have a question.
I don't.
He's the most pure anarchist that I've ever seen. I mean, as somebody who's not just like, I want chaos, but like as an actual, lack of governmental structure. He's the most, I'll say, intellectual about what that actually means. The problem is that here with this specific question, he is not being so complete. Primetime 99, baby.
I don't know. That dude dumb for no reason.
That never happens in real life.
Michael, I have a question.
I don't answer questions from police.
Love that you said that.
See, that would have been a great joke, but it's not a joke, and you're here on a talk show, bro.
Don't ever do it.
Right. Anarchy means no leaders. It does not mean chaos. You have a lot of people who represent that, especially, like in the 90s with the punk and the anarchy symbol. It was not about what Michael represents. But yeah, again, here, everybody's laughing then he's like, oh, I don't answer questions from cops, because that would be a good joke. But you're literally on a talk show to debate about cops, and you're saying you're not going to talk to the cop. Like, what? Why did you come here then?
I love that you said that.
Don't ever do it. I'm not. Here's why. There's two people in America who think words are violence. Social.
I was going to say liberals and
justice
cops.
warriors and cops.
Oh, okay. There you go. I got it. I thought he was going to say social workers, but dilly. The wokies and the cops.
People in America who think words are violence. Social justice warriors and cops. If I call Alex the N-word, which I do all the time, and I will again.
I didn't hear it, but I wish I
See our
did.
text messages are bad.
There's plenty of leftists who will tell you that it's appropriate for him to beat me in a coma because, hey, you shouldn't be calling black people the N-word. Cops are the only other group where if you say the wrong thing, they feel entitled to knock you into a coma and pat themselves on the back for it.
And again, even if that doesn't mean every cop will do that, the people who are cops that do that are all cops.
Anyway, so you said that because the job requires violence, or there's like a level of violence that has to be.
I didn't say that.
What did you say? You said something that cops draw people because it is a
You should
job of
listen to what I'm
violence?
saying before you try to quote me.
That's why I asked you.
I'm not answering questions.
Well, you're not very good at debating.
I'm not debating you.
This is
Yeah. Right. Like, well then, pal, what are we doing? He does come back and they do debate. I wouldn't show this if we weren't debating, but it's a slimy position. TV said Michael Malice can afford to be an anarchist. His UKR background gives me an immediate distrust. Is that Ukrainian? Is he Ukrainian? I suspect that if things became uncomfortable, he would abandon his anarchy quickly. Overall, I like Michael Malice, though. I tend to agree. A lot of people, it's easy, especially like, I hate to make the comparison, but you look at Hassan and the fact that he is, he's, on his high horse about socialism and capitalism and all that stuff. If that really came down, he would not be happy. Now, he said the biggest gang in the world is the police. Yep, we know it well. Maverick said, Malice's view on anarchist, I think on the PBD podcast, made me respect his view much more. Initially, I had disdain for anarchists, but after that interview, I respected his views. And yeah, I definitely don't agree with like what he wants the government or what he wants society to look like. But I definitely agree with a lot of the reasons that he proposes. Like, I think we would be moving in the same direction, and then at a certain point he would want to go left and I would want to go right. Not like politically left, right, but just in different directions. But yeah, mad respect.
I'm not answering questions.
well, you're not very good at debating.
I'm not debating you.
This is a debate, isn't it?
What about a conversation? Can we be friends?
See, again, it could have been you could win people over, but this ain't it, Mike.
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends?
Why can't we be friends?
All right.
Why can't we
He's trying to love
be
bomb
friends?
Michael to
Yeah.
trick him into being
Those
friends.
are-
Here's how cops operate. That he's using another technique.
They're singing and being nice.
They come to interview you. Hey, my partner's crazy. My partner's a madman. I'm the nice one. I'm just trying to help you.
Alex,
Wait a minute. Are you talking about some tactic that we've never heard of called good cop, bad cop?
this is
Just,
crazy.
just answer a few questions.
Good
I'll be
cop,
on my
bad cop.
way. It'll be cool. You answer the few questions. If I go to Tim, I go, hey, Tim, I got to put up a painting in my house. Can I borrow a power tool? Sure. And then I go, oh, by the way, Tim, this power tool, I can and will use this against you. All of a sudden, it's like, whoa, hey.
Yikes.
They tell you explicitly, anything you say can and will be used against you. And here's something else.
Right, but you still have to explain why that is an inherently bad thing. I agree that it's not good that it can be weaponized, but the burden of proof is on you to say this is not how things should be. We should change this, that, and that, and for these reasons. Shout out to Boz. Welcome to the party. The grandpa was a police officer in Minneapolis for 30 years, the 60s through the 90s. They planted a tree outside his office, outside his precinct down there. Well, shout out to Grandpa. Dilly. even though I do, again, with the poll, it's, even if you're, one notch, 1 degree in the direction of pro-police or anti-police, that's the option you should pick. And I am more on the anti-police side, but I'm very pro law and order. So I'm very attuned to the types of criticisms that Michael Malice has. I just don't love the way that he's presenting it on this. Shout out to Grandpa.
Anything you say can and will be used against you. And here's something else. If you tell a cop something that would help your side of the story in a lawsuit, in a criminal case, that's hearsay. Oh, he said, but if he doesn't remember something you said or gets it a little wrong, like he did repeatedly today, all of a sudden it's his word against yours, and now your story doesn't add up, and now you're a liar. And now very quickly, bad things are going to happen to you as a consequence.
Well, actually,
I think the bottom line of Michael's position is that, well, they have the establishment on their side, and they are humans, and we are humans. And so inevitably, just like a casino, the house is always going to win. And so even if you are a good cop, even if you are somebody who's just following the law and you generally want to help people, that the accountability aspect of it is that you are always at such an imbalance that that individual instances of a cop being a good cop don't matter to him. I think that's what I think that's where he's coming from.
Doesn't add up, and now you're a liar. And now, very quickly, bad things are going to happen to you as a consequence.
Well, actually,
don't ever talk to the police without an attorney.
Michael has a good point, and I want you to answer this, so Rich, because you deal with these interrogations and people interviews, whatever.
Semantic obfuscation.
Soft words.
And you give them their Miranda rights, and you know that most people you deal with are retarded, and they don't even understand their Miranda rights.
Well, I'm just like you. Yes.
Yeah, I admit that I am retarded. My point is, you're dealing with people that don't realize that they are incriminating themselves. Michael does have a point in that they actually are afforded a free attorney. And oftentimes I watch the first 48 and you see the dude in there that, double murdered somebody. A couple of times you're like, hey, where's my attorney? Where's my attorney? And then the guy will end up still talking because they give him like a Pepsi Coke,
Delicious.
And what I'm saying is,
what brought the world together? Caitlyn Jenner did it.
She did.
Notice how he's changing the subject.
That was Kylie, but good catch on Michael.
What I'm saying is,
what brought the world together? Caitlyn Jenner did it.
She did.
Notice how he's changing the subject.
That ended racism. But what I'm talking about, that they don't even understand that they would get a free attorney that would tell them to shut the fuck up. And you still ask them questions. So do you ever feel a little guilty because you are taking advantage of somebody that doesn't realize the situation?
Just because you're dumb doesn't mean that you don't understand the words that I literally read for you.
Okay, but that's already not the situation that he was presenting to you. He's presenting to you a situation where the person is dumb and also does not understand what the gravity of the situation. And I'll let him say this.
Realize the situation.
Just because you're dumb doesn't mean that you don't understand the words that I literally read for you.
I know, but real quick though, you understand that it is a challenging thing. You give them the Miranda rights one time.
Sure.
They might not understand the concept that they get a free attorney.
Well, that's why I asked them, do you understand these rights that I've just read to you? And they have to respond.
That you asked that question.
So that is basically plausible deniability. Well, I said the word, so if you don't understand, that's your fault. Technically, okay, but if you were here to help people, then you'd be like, look, it's probably not in your best interest to talk to you. We'll give you a free attorney. And I'm not even proposing that they should do that. Alex is asking about the ethics of continuing to interrogate somebody who doesn't fully understand that they, one, don't need to be answering questions, and two, that they can have a lawyer that would help them. And the guy was just like, well, I did my part. I checked the box, so it's all fine.
That they get a free attorney.
Well, that's why I asked them, do you understand these rights that I've just read to you? And
I
they have to
understand
respond.
that you asked that question, but
then follow-up question, I have to ask, knowing these rights in mind, having these rights in mind, would you like to talk to me now? I have the card.
I know that.
Hold on, just in case you all forgot.
And the fact that you don't know, that was what show was it? Oh, it was 21 Jump Street. Shout out to 21 Jump Street, where the whole thing was like the first arrest that Channing Tatum made didn't matter because he forgot to read the Miranda rights. And clearly it is a not so unpopular thing for veteran police officers to not know the Miranda rights. It's one paragraph. And the first 3 sentences on every episode of Law and Order or anything else that that has to do with crime on TV. And again, the fact that you're in a situation and you have someone who is in an authority, they're in uniform, there's probably other people around them, they're just saying things to you, you're scared, you just, I don't want any trouble. And that's what Alex is asking about. And you can see that Angry Cops, I forget his real name, but Angry Cops is this guy that we're talking about. You can see that his first response is to be like, well, not my fault. We're not asking about fault. We're not saying you did anything wrong. We're talking about the concept of interrogating somebody who does not understand that they have other options. Shout out to Indy Bam. Welcome to the party. I got to dilly that. I'd be pro cop, but I've met too many cops. I said shit. Me too. Keep that poll. I'm going to keep that poll up for a while because I am very interested. I know a lot of you guys who are further to the right than I am, probably have police officers in your family, like Box was talking about, maybe police yourselves, and then, just political ideology. You might be a little bit closer to that thin blue line than a lot of us. But welcome to the party, Indy Bam. Box said cops are just normal people. They are neighbors and fellow countrymen. The laws, however, we make the laws and then despise the people that enforce the laws. Make it make sense. And that is also a good point that, a cop being a dick to you is not, or let's say the cop's not even being a dick, but let's say you're getting arrested for something that is technically illegal. It's not the cop's fault that you did illegal shit. That's just their job, and they're doing it properly. I don't mean just following orders like the fucking Nazi argument.
Now, I have the card.
I know that.
Hold on, just in case we all forgot.
But
just in case.
You know that you are asking questions to a person. It doesn't even matter if you sat there for 10 minutes and lectured them on what legal rights they had. They still would not understand what it is because some people have a 70 IQ. Do you ever feel guilty for them basically not taking advantage of?
He's going to go right back to. See, well, it says this. I bet you, he's going to go right back to that.
Have a 70 IQ. Do you ever feel guilty for them basically not taking advantage of their legal rights, like, a free attorney?
So
you should. So if you're a cop here, then you'd be like, yeah, it breaks my heart when I see a situation where it's like, in my head, I'm like, bro, you need to shut up. You need to get a lawyer. But my job is to get this information. That would be a reasonable answer. But if he goes back to the Miranda rights, we know we are not dealing with a good one. Fox said we need justice and prion reform. I don't know what that word means. And not the hippie left kind, the evidence, fact-based kind. My brother is in prison, and it matters to me. Yeah, I think we all have somebody who is somewhat connected to these issues. Whether you are a cop, you have cops in your family, so on and so forth, or you're on the other side of the law. And as Boxton's saying, I'm seeing both sides of this scale. So it's big. It's not something that just be like, well, eventually maybe.
For them basically not taking advantage of their legal rights, like a free attorney.
So the amount of people that I've questioned that I've read their Miranda rights to start off with.
Oh, called it. He's not engaging with the question. He is giving out his, pun intended, get out of jail free card.
The amount of people that I've questioned that I've read their Miranda rights to, which start off with, you have the right to remain silent. If you don't understand that.
Just because somebody says they understand that doesn't mean they understand that. I understand that you don't necessarily have a way of knowing in that moment whether when the person you're arresting and interrogating has said, yes, I still want to talk to you, if they understand what the stakes there. I'm not even personally putting it on you. That's not your responsibility. That's their responsibility. If you're in a country, you need to know the laws and what rights you have and so on and so forth. But he's not engaging with the question that's being asked. He's shifting it to, well, I did my part.
You have the right to remain silent. If you don't understand that, or if you but there's a difference here. Everybody's talking about
if you don't understand that, what? If you don't understand that, then you don't understand that. We have a fucking immigration problem. Half the people don't fucking speak English, and a lot of the people that do can't read past the 3rd grade level. So finish that sentence, homeboy.
Understand that.
Then.
Or if you but there's a difference here. Everybody's talking about like, are you smart enough to understand it? If I say you have the
yeah, that was the question.
right to remain silent, and then I continue to question you, and you say, okay, I would like to be questioned. There's no much more I can do. I'm not a psychologist. If lawyers want to then take up that aspect of saying, hey, Alex is so dumb.
I don't disagree with anything that he's saying, but that was not the framing of the question. The framing was your personal feelings. Your personal feelings.
How dumb is Alex? Alex doesn't know when to shut up. And then they can argue that. But unless you're of noticeable mental decline, I'm going to read you your Miranda rights. I'm going to ask you at the end of them, do you understand each of these rights I have explained to you? Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us now? And you say yes, then I'm going to talk to you.
Well, how about this?
No. I got one thing. Notice he's not even pretending that he's going to help the person. I'm not a psychologist. We've all talked to people.
Who am I helping?
We've all talked to people. No.
What do you mean? That was the question that we were just asking you. The person that you're interrogating. This is the point you would ask for an attorney, right? But Alex is asking about the people who don't know that yet. The people who don't understand that. Even if you are saying those words, that doesn't mean that the person understands. And that also doesn't mean that just because they don't understand the law, that you as a police officer is your responsibility to teach them the law. That's not what anybody is saying. We are asking as a human being, do you ever feel like this person that I'm interrogating doesn't fully understand their options? And no answer. TV said, this is Alex being woke, really. The sub 70 IQ thing is an Euler, really. Loaded up on dope, though. What? How is this being woke? I'm gonna hold you to this when you come back. I'm gonna hold you to this to when you come back. Box said, I respect you, but I'm gonna need an attorney. Not another word. Shut the fuck up. Oh, so it's an outlier. Oh, fine. I don't think that. Well, should I wait till you come back? Or are you listening? Because I don't think he was saying those people should be given special privileges or anything. Like, if you're too stupid and you get yourself in trouble, like, that's your fault. But that's not what the question was. The question is, if you see somebody doing that to themselves, do you have any emotions about that? And that's, he won't answer that. By the time the card comes out, you've already talked too much. Or did too much. Yep. Shut the fuck up.
I'm not a psychologist. We've all talked to people.
Who am I helping?
We've all talked to people. No one. That's the point.
The victim?
We've all talked to people.
Maybe the victim.
Someone who's innocent until proven guilty. He's someone he's questioning. We've all talked to people. You explain things to them. You realize, okay, this person has no idea what the fuck I'm just talking about. And that's happened to him repeatedly. But he knows, as long as he's got the assent, just like when you check up the terms of service on some website or thing, his hands are clean and he can go and pursue the arrest.
Perfect analogy with the terms of service. Well, it says in section B, subparagraph 2, appendix C, that we can steal all your data if you use the Maps app.
What?
You know that is unethical, even if it is not illegal, or maybe it's not even morally wrong, but it's unethical.
Some website or thing. His hands are clean and he can go and pursue the arrest and the conviction.
So you finished that the Miranda rights with, do you want to talk to me, yes or no?
Correct.
Whether the person answers yes or no indicates.
Guys, we only got 2 likes. The show is paused until we get at least 4. That's 2 more likes, please. Let's get the show rolling. There's 3. One more, guys. One more. I don't need all 6. I get it. Maybe you're just checking out the show and it's not really, you don't know if it's your vibe yet, but let's see. All right. And somebody's gone. So, hey, want to keep the show going. There we go. Thank you so very, very much for the likes, guys. Box said, I've watched enough body cam and court videos to know exactly what is going on here. I feel bad for people that just don't understand. Say more. Sound like you got something. Sound like you're about to cook. Say more. Sorry, I'm driving, but when I went to put a like, I hit a telephone pole, so you got a like now. That's what I'm talking about. This is what we are here for. I don't care about you. I don't care about your life. I don't care about your safety. You are here for me. You are here for me. Thank you, guys. Very much appreciated.
Miranda writes with, do you want to talk to me, yes or no?
Correct.
Whether the person answers yes or no indicates, we're getting feedback, indicates some understanding. And it sounds like what you're asking, Alex, do you ever feel guilty because maybe they actually don't? What if the person wants to talk to the cops and they accidentally say no because they don't understand it?
Okay, let's go. Before we even get onto that, put a one in the chat if you have not seen the movie Memento. It's I think it's like an early 2000s movie, and it is kind of filmed in reverse, kind of, but it's a long story short about a guy who can't remember anything for longer than a few seconds. And so he he has like 10-second memory, or as long as he's paying attention to something, he can remember, but if his mind goes, then he's a blank slate. And so there's a line in the movie where, it's like a crime thriller thing that they're trying to figure out. But there's a point in the movie where the guy who has memory issues is greeting somebody in the lobby of a hotel. And the guy that he's meeting, it was like, well, how did you know it was me? And it's like, he was talking, and I don't remember the exact quote, but he's saying you had a look of familiarity in your eyes. And you get to learn that some people are just going to walk right by you. And somebody, if they're looking at you like that, it's probably because they know you. I don't remember what this had to do with this. Hold on.
Because maybe they actually don't.
Oh, yeah. So again, going back to the language barrier or the intelligence barrier, some people might just be saying yes to move along the thing. And they may be so stupid, be like, oh, okay, I'm in trouble. They're going to give me a talking to, but I just, go along with whatever they say, and then I get to go home. That's what we're asking about, and that's what he's not answering about. Again, I'm not saying that if you're too stupid, then, or not too stupid, if you're stupid, you should be able to get away with crimes. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it is the case that sometimes somebody will say, yes, I understand this, when they don't actually understand it.
And it sounds like
so this is Tim's talking about something
that Miranda writes with, do you want to talk to me, yes or no?
Correct.
Whether the person answers
you gotta see Memento. That's a classic.
Yes or no indicates, we're getting feedback, indicates some understanding. And it sounds like what you're asking, Alex, do you ever feel guilty because maybe they actually don't? What if the person wants to talk to the cops and they accidentally say no because they don't understand it? They can misunderstand.
Oh, well, then if they say no and then they start talking, well, anything you say can be used against you. So they're good. Shout out to K-Rain. Welcome to the party. So you call 911 and they put you on hold. Unless it's unless you're in a mass casualty event, that should not happen. But I have heard that happening before. I couldn't tell you where, but I'm sure it was in a city where somebody called, something going on. They're like, can you just hold on a minute? It's like, what? No, I cannot. That's why I dialed 911. Welcome to the party. Fox, when you see the whole process and understand the roles of everyone involved, from cops arresting you to what judges expect of you, it's a world every person is not very well versed in. We would do better to just educate people on how to interact with police better. Bingo! I am 100% in agreement. 100% in agreement. Even just the basic fact that you don't need to answer questions is something that had to be articulated to me, even though I understood the Bill of Rights, even though I understood the right. The Fourth Amendment is the quartering one, right? I don't know, whatever. But even though I had the pieces were there, but I didn't know enough to be like, okay, the best move for me, because especially if you're younger, when we're younger, we're taught to just go with the authority. And so to not go with the quote unquote ultimate authority, I don't really believe in God, but the ultimate earthly authority that you could understand, it can happen. Well, I said you don't have to talk to me, and then I asked if you wanted to talk to me, and you said yes. maybe I'm under the impression that I don't have to talk to you, but if I talk to you, I can get out of this. When we hear I'm getting arrested and you're just fishing for more. That has happened to me. Shout out to Zippy, and Liddy. Welcome to the party. Said better to have some police than none, I guess. I think I agree. I'm going to start this for later. That is going to be the next poll. Because that is an interesting statement. And I think I agree, but I am not sure. Welcome to the party, guys. Again, if you have not already hit that like and subscribe, do that shit. We diving back in.
What if the person wants to talk to the cops and they accidentally say no because they don't understand it? They can misunderstand.
It never works that way, Tim. It never happens where they accidentally ask for an attorney and get one.
No, I'm saying the cops are like, do you want to talk to us? The guy might be thinking that I understand what you're saying. My point is logically it can go either direction. It goes in one direction.
Oh shit.
Get away from it with your metal teeth, guy.
I do have.
But before we go to the audience, I do want to ask Michael.
I was going to respond.
If there were no police,
Let's respond. It's a good question.
Okay.
So if you
So just like the last live, like the IRL episode of this, they do that and then they go to the crowd. And I checked it out. We got some good stuff in the crowd as well.
If you feel like police officers taking advantage of people that don't understand their rights or don't understand the conversation that they've been in, I would ask you to bring me with some sort of story. Just bring something up where you were having a conversation with somebody who felt as though they could not talk to you or didn't understand the conversation, and then you continue to have a conversation with them.
It just happened with Michael Blackman in Discord. It just happened. We were he actually shared the Timcast video of them talking about how they might overturn gay marriage, and I was saying that that's not a good political move. That is going to open the door for Democrats to have more power because most people are, if not in favor of gay marriage, are at least not willing to ban the marriage that is already there. I'd expect that you guys are probably a smaller subsection of people who are like, fuck yeah, get rid of that shit. But the point is that a lot of people who are MAGA, like myself, are not and have never been Republicans. And so the idea that there is something wrong with gay marriage as a concept just doesn't exist to me. Yeah, I don't want to see pride stuff like that. That is an issue to me. But just two dudes or two chicks wanting to live their life together is absolutely not an issue to me at all. And I think trying to push that is going to move people away from the larger conservative MAGA bubble, especially the people who really kind of only came in because they're like, well, I guess it's better than Kamala. Zippy said, ultimately, lawmakers are demons. And voters are people who want to be sacrificed. Well, goddamn. Zippy on fire tonight.
To you or didn't understand the conversation, and then you continue to have a conversation with them.
I'm saying the inverse. My argument is more for what Alex is saying. Alex is saying there are some people who don't understand and they'll talk to you anyway. My argument is the statement of, do you want to talk to me, can go yes or no.
Correct.
Misunderstand in either direction.
Yes.
Meaning, I understand the point. It's probably rare and maybe it's a stupid point. I don't know. But there may be some people who want to explain to the police something that happened. It may slightly be incriminating, but they're worried about having their kneecaps bashed in by gangs. And they're like, I don't understand what this means, so I'm not going to say anything.
If you want to what if every legal thing, I'm with you, but I would need something for me to bounce off of.
Either.
That's why I think what I was saying is a lot stronger. The fact that people are telling you, yes, I understand, but they don't actually understand. I think that would be a better way to get into the mindset of this particular cop. Is if you're in that position, like Michael was just saying, we've all been in that situation where we're talking to somebody, and at some point you realize, oh, they're not keeping up here. They know enough. They know English. They know enough to keep up and make it look like they're holding a conversation, but they're not engaging with the ideas that are being put forth because they don't understand them. And if that is the case, if that occurs when you are the investigating police officer and somebody else could be arrested and thrown in jail, does that have any emotional bearing on you? Yes or no? That was the original question, and he did not answer it. Zippy said, do not repeal gay marriage, repeal the 19th Amendment, and force women to be treated like men in the eyes of the law. Well, god damn! Zippy, where have you been? 3. Zippy is 3, 4, 3. I think so. God damn. So any film said so read the gay marriage poll. So let me pull that up. Where is it? Come on. Boom, 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 boom. So we have this poll that Indie Film is talking about. I said, pick the option that most closely aligns with your position. Options being, I would openly campaign to ban gay marriage. I don't like gay marriage, but I don't really care. I'm neutral or positive about gay marriage, but I don't really care. Or I would openly campaign to keep gay marriage because Michael told me that I was wrong, that Gallup was wrong, that Rasmussen was wrong about the fact that most people, meaning more than 50% of people, are in favor of gay marriage. So what does any film say? Government has no business in marriage. It's just used as another tax on the people. I don't fully disagree, but the fact of the matter is that once it is a legal thing, then you cannot have religious privileges like that. Once there are tax incentives tied to marriage, then now you've taken it out of the religious realm and you've put it into the political realm. And I would agree with you guys if you were like, hey, let's keep marriage specifically a Christian or religious thing, and then boast civil unions as the way to get on your taxes. You can see the person in the hospital, all that other kind of stuff. Because you can't tell me that that's not a big deal. We were all complaining that you weren't able to see grandma in the hospital during COVID. Well, COVID or not, you ain't getting in to see grandma if it's your husband, you're a man, and your husband's mom. That's still your mother-in-law. But if we're saying marriage can't be, so it's more than just taxes. And hey, taxes are a big fucking deal. So I think we're too far gone on the idea of what marriage is. We should have, from the beginning, kept secular people out of marriage. There's nothing in me as a straight secular person cares about whether I have the title of husband. But I absolutely want to fill that role in my life. I want to have a wife. I want to have kids. But if I'm getting all of the other benefits, personal tax benefits, whatever, and it's just called a different thing, I don't fucking give a shit. So I get that it's the Christians that care that marriage is a sacrament, but you got to take that up with the people who who made it into a legal thing and took it out of a religious thing, or fight to reverse that and say that civil unions will get all of the same legal entitlements as marriage, but marriage is just, and then marriage doesn't get legal benefits. You have to have a civil union to the person you're married before you get the tax benefits. Marriage and civil unions need to be a separate thing. And so if you're married, that means in the eyes of God, you're married, but you don't get any tax benefits because that's marriage. That has nothing to do with that. Now you get the civil union. And for everybody else, gay, secular, whatever, you get the civil union, and that gives you the entitlements. And then the marriage part you wouldn't care about because you're not a Christian. That's the way to fix it. But y'all won't do that. Y'all won't do that. Christian pride is too high. Shout out to Equality and Deference because vagina. Welcome to the party. Said liked and shared. Thank you so very, very much. Again, that stuff is free. It is easy and it helps out the channel so very much. It does not even matter if you think anybody's going to click on the link that you share. Just by you telling YouTube, X, or Rumble that you want more people to see it, they will show it to more people. Thank you. Welcome to the party. Quality says so much of the argument against same-sex marriage, in quotes, I don't know why that's in quotes, but same-sex marriage is that it's simply not what the word means. It's like people who call their pets children. The civil union thing is a good resolution indeed. I think so. welcome to the party. Equality. Box, not every buffalo ran off the cliff. Well, I don't know for now. Are y'all talking? Any films? There you go. Marriages get no government recognition at all. Civil unions are what's on the government side. I'm with it. Film said I shared the link with Sydney Sweetie. I'm waiting on her reply. Well, we'll keep those fingers crossed. Welcome to the party, guys. Thank you so very much for hanging out. Let's dive right back in.
Illegal thing, I'm with you, but I would need something for me
I
to
don't follow
bounce
the
off
question
of.
either.
What's that?
I didn't follow the question either.
Okay.
My
friends.
Now we're finally friends.
Don't touch me. That's assault.
Not consensual,
So I'm not doing anything.
Let me just ask you, Michael.
No,
before we
I'm
do
not
this,
even kidding.
So again, I remember this part particularly, and I want you guys to give me your let me know if you agree with Michael that what just happened, and we'll play it back, and he's going to explain what just happened was an outset of who he is as a cop, or if it was just an innocuous nothing. Before we do that, let's shout out our boy Funk Master General. Oh my goodness, with the $20. Welcome to the party. Let's get rid of that and give Morty his treat. Of course, every donation comes with a treat for Morty. Thank you so very, very much. Welcome to the party, Funk Master General. So if I remember correctly, that whole marriage thing started with the Republicans not letting them have civil unions. So naturally, it escalated. I don't fully remember, but I trust your word. And I think that is exactly right, that people didn't want gays to be able to get civil unions. And that exactly as you're saying, that there was a pushback. It's like, no, well, we need marriage. Like I say, Christians are shooting themselves in the foot day after day after day after day. Thank you again so very, very much. Guys, that is 2 out of 15 donations, but that is 30 out of 50. 30 out of 50 of our total donation number. We very much might hit that goal. Thank you so very, very much, sir. Hey, Zippy with the share. Very much appreciated. We got our boy Dylan Soup. Welcome, guys. Very good to see ya. Very good. All right, let's dive. Yeah, Claudia said Michael Malice's costume is awesome.
Touch me. That's assault.
Not consensual,
Okay.
so I'm not doing
So agree or disagree with the point that Michael is about to make?
anything.
let me just ask you, Michael.
No,
before we
I'm
do
not
this,
even kidding at all.
But before
I'm not. No, I'm going to say this point. Notice how comfortable a cop is getting in your face. And my point earlier is, I'm
It was
not
to
joking.
your backside,
I'm
sir.
I'm not joking. You can laugh. You should laugh right now because that's obviously humorous. Now imagine what happens when there's no cameras and there's no witnesses and he's in a bad mood. All of a sudden, he's going to be very happy to remind you who your place in life and who you should be talking to with the polite mouth boy.
So do we agree that that was a slip of, oh, I feel like I can do whatever I want? Or was that like, hey, this guy clearly doesn't like me. I'm trying to lighten the mood. I really don't know. And the fact that I don't know means that there is credence to the point that, oh, this fucking cop just feels like he can do whatever he wants. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you agree with Michael Malice here? Let's hear it again.
You can laugh. You should laugh right now because that's obviously humorous.
Agree or disagree?
Now imagine what happens when there's no cameras and there's no witnesses and he's in a bad mood. All of a sudden, he's going to be very happy to remind you who your place in life and who you should be talking to with the polite mouth boy.
So before we go to the answer, I do want to ask, what would we have if there were no police?
Well,
he doesn't know. He's already said he doesn't know. And TV said, I see a comedian, not a cop. In that moment, I saw that as a joke, but Equality says it was more of a joke, but Malice is right. I think that's the right answer. I think that's the right answer. Fox said disagree. So there should be much higher standards in law in elected officials, but that pesky Christian forgiveness, it's all a game of power plays. Yep. Any film agrees that cops are very comfortable putting hands on other people. Yep. My audio, is anybody else, my audio cutting out? Please let me know. Thank you, Equality. I will fix it if we need to. Dive back in. Yeah.
So before we go to the answer, I do want to ask, What would we have
testing? Let me know.
or no police?
What would we
Well,
have
we
if
need
there were no
security.
police?
So this idea
Like
of-
security, like the people that try to get me to stop skating some ledge at the front of a building and they're fucking dickheads.
Yeah, they suck.
yeah, specifically those people.
But this is where we're starting to get into, okay, what exactly do you think, Michael? So now he's established that police themselves are bad, but the role that they fill may not be bad. Yeah, Claudia, I think that is you. Hopefully you figured it
Stop
out.
skating some ledge at the front of a building and they're fucking dickheads.
Yeah, they suck.
But thank you for letting me know, guys. Even if it's a little thing, like always, especially with audio, let me know. So thank you.
Yeah, specifically those people.
Only them.
We want to clone them. Great contribution. Security is an extremely important thing. These movements that you see in these big cities to defund the police are, to me, insane because they're defunding them to a point, but they're keeping them in place to make sure people can't protect themselves. So you have the police out taking out Kyle Rittenhouse. You have them taking out Daniel Penny.
I mean, they didn't take out Kyle Rittenhouse, but point taken.
But everybody else is rendered helpless and defenseless. So security is far too important of a job to be left to monopoly, let alone a government monopoly. We need police accountability and we need private security to increase. But as it is now, there is no accountability. And the people who are if you're in New York, one of the reasons I moved to Austin, thank God I did, is because I knew if
Joe Rogan.
someone broke into my house and I have pretty cool shit, and I tried to defend myself, especially with a firearm, it's far more likely that the law would fall upon me than upon the guy breaking into my house. We see this over and over. And
I need to get out of Jersey so I can get strapped. Buck said, cops do a thing called ask, tell, make. It is the usual escalation of force. It is always a lawful order to get out of your car right now. Yep. And I mean, as we can talk about how often cops are cops, but a different conversation is on the side of the road is not the time to litigate that shit. Let them do whatever fucking fuck shit they're gonna do, because you're not gonna argue. Exactly said. You can talk your way into a ticket or talk yourself into getting arrested, but you can't talk your way out of it. In court is the time to do that. In court is the time to do that. So he says, as long as the corporations monopolize everything, private security will still be mall cops. Is that better or worse? Is that better or worse than what we have now? I honestly don't know. Quality said, very good point. The fat blue line stands down while mostly peaceful protesters loot and burn, then arrest you if you defend yourself. America, thin blue line. Yeah.
more likely that the law would fall upon me than upon the guy breaking into my house. We see this over and over. And those laws are enforced and only enforced by the police.
So, fuck, no, come on. No.
I do feel bad for this guy. He's trying so hard to be like, all right, let's make this a show. I get you don't like me, but we're putting on a show here. Come on, Michael.
So, fuck, no, come on. No. Those laws are enforced by the district attorney's office and the politicians that you elect. It's not my fault that you decided to live in a shitty city with bad rules that I choose to ignore because I believe in the Second Amendment.
Okay. Cool.
You chose to live in a state that says, here are the guidelines. And then you go, it's the cop's fault that they put handcuffs on me. Not at all for the fact that there's a judge, a jury, a district attorney, a state senator, and a governor that are all against you, not the cops.
Okay.
Just because we collect you doesn't mean we're responsible for the end result.
So if I hire Tim to kill Alex, which one of us has committed a crime?
Both of you.
Right. Thank you. So just because an evil person tells you to do something and you follow their orders, you're both committing wrongdoing. And I want to ask the people in this
That's exactly what I thought of when I first started.
audience, how many people here lost a loved one during COVID? Anyone? No.
Me?
Okay. How many people couldn't visit their old folks during COVID?
How many people couldn't go to church during COVID?
Right.
There we go.
No.
How much money would Joe Biden have to pay you to arrest someone for trying to go to church?
How much money? How much money would it take for you to arrest somebody for the crime of going to church? That's a good question. There's no amount of money I'm an atheist. I think Christianity is destroying, well, not destroying, but strong words, but I don't like Christianity. I hate leftism more, but I don't like Christianity. But never would I think it is okay to arrest somebody for going to church. Yes, he was president then.
How much money would Joe Biden have to pay you to arrest someone for trying to go to church?
Yeah, that's the other point. I mean, principles aside, it ain't gonna help.
Agreed.
Let's go, Brandon. Well, I said dilly dilly, no amount of money over here either. We got principles up in this bitch.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, well, let's.
How much
wait, wait,
money? No. How much money would Officer Kamala Harris have to pay you to arrest someone for having a funeral?
Fuck Kamala Harris. All right.
Thank you.
But
Wait, no. I'm gonna.
There's some, I mean, everybody's got a price. Everybody's got a price for damn near everything. And there are certain things that, and this applies to me as well. There's certain things that you think, no amount of money would ever allow you to do that thing. You see the number and you're like, well, I mean, but on something like this, which it is such a core principle, I would never be able to enjoy that money knowing who I became to be that person. Is this a side quest, Zippy, or are we just sharing? Side quest? All right, we're doing the side quest. Shout out to Zippy. Let's see what we got. Where's my side quest button? Come on. I don't like that. And black. And black.
The buck stops somewhere. I just forgot where I put it.
Oh, Marty just farted. It smells so bad.
Hello, America. It's me, Joe Biden. Or maybe just my pen. Who knows anymore? Some folks are saying I pardoned my entire family. My dog, Adam Schiff, Dr. Fauci, and a guy named Sticky Steve who once sold fireworks to North Korea. Anyways, listen, did I sign those pardons? No. Did my auto pen? Yes. But who gave it permission? Not me. Probably me. But not consciously. Come on, man. It was on sleep mode. Now look, just because a robot arm with my signature pardoned 100 political cronies doesn't mean I had anything to do with it. And if I did, then I didn't. But if I didn't, then I absolutely stand by it. At the end of the day, I want the American people to know this. The buck stops somewhere. I just forgot where I put it.
Shout out to Puppet Gate. Link in the chat if you would like to see that on your own. Looks just like him. Didn't your administration trade that WNBA player for a literal warlord? Yep.
Fuck Kamala Harris. All right.
Thank you. But wait, no. I'm going to finish my point. We've all said earlier that cops are human beings, but in one capacity, they're not. Because what separates humans from non-human animals is our conscience. And when you become a cop, you give yours away. You say, I am going to do what the sociopaths tell me. And if they tell me to shut down that lemonade stand and make that little girl cry, I'm not going to lose an ounce of sleep over it.
One quick question for Rich before we go to the audience. The police officers who unconstitutionally shut down churches in New York, should they be arrested for that?
They should be charged.
All right. You're here.
There you go. Claudia said the puppet is smarter than the real thing. Probably. Okay. Say more.
New York, should they be arrested for that?
They should be charged.
All right. You're here. Constitutional.
Wait. You disagree or you, because that's what he said. You're not making sense, brother.
Or should they be arrested for that?
They should be charged.
All right, you're here.
They did it.
Conspiracy
All
against
right,
rights.
let's get into the show, Tim. You ready for this?
Let's go.
Are you guys ready for this? You guys ready for this?
Let's go.
Let's get the energy going. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna call out a name. You guys walk your ass and hurry your ass because we got to have a hard out at 5 p.m. And remember to tip your damn waitress. DC's expensive. Or waiter, whatever. And that's cool if you're gay
or wait, they
trans, or tip them extra. Tip them extra, just to be extra nice.
Give them a tip. They lost
But
theirs.
get your ass over here in this corner. We're gonna give you a minute. Oh.
And real quick, I believe there may be another autographed mustard floating around somewhere. And if you
there
get
is
it,
indeed, Tim.
if you get it, you get. Like, what are we doing? A free board?
Yeah, you get a free skateboard.
Free
Check your
autographed
table
skateboard.
if your mustard bottle is signed.
Check your mustard right now. Let's get this out of the way. Pick up your mustard.
But just
All
come.
right, I'm gonna skip forward to our
What
speakers here. Again, if they would just call 2 people at a time and you have one waiting, and then like, okay, you're done. Now we call the third person. The second person starts. I'm not a fucking genius, but come on. No, he is Tucker Carlson's biological stepdad. Okay, get yo shit right.
I see you're moving slow, Walt. Let's go.
Find the white
Over
man with the
here,
black
over
line.
here.
Get the
There you
lead
go.
out of
Look
your
for the mustard. Look for the mustard.
ass and let's move.
This way, right over here. See me?
Hurry up.
Big flashy white kid in the white stuff. Hey,
Yeah,
what's
to the right of stage.
Stop putting.
What do you guys want?
1 minute.
All right, 1 minute for what? What do you guys want?
What do you want?
First of all, I'm going to go
All
with.
right, hold on. All right, so I had an interaction with the cops today.
My fault.
No, it's not your fault. But I just got to look at this, like
You sound high as hell, brother, and I would know well.
this generation of cops. They are young as fuck.
Yep.
And I guess it's because I'm getting older, right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so I just, the EMTs that even showed up, they looked like they were 15, 16. I'm like, what the fuck? But I guess my point
And
is,
then
they didn't look like big burly men. They're not like you. They're not like Tim. They're not
Yeah.
like Alex Stein, who looks. Are you on Ozempic?
No,
And then,
Just fentanyl. Cocaine.
Fentanyl.
Cancer. How dare you?
like you were
It's his
skinny as
third
shit,
fucking
dude. What
season.
happened?
bro, ask your
But,
question.
On a blender.
I don't know what's going. Look, I didn't
Saturday
expect to
night.
be up here, so I'm a little nervous. All right, cameras.
You're
in my face.
scared.
Do you like cops?
No, I'm not scared.
Can you smile so we can see you?
Yeah, we can actually come on. Okay, that's been your 1 minute. I don't know. Should this guy?
But anyway, my point. I guess my question is
Question.
how do you see the future of policing if we're just allowing
Bitches on the job.
pretty much?
Got you.
All right.
Well, Michael
Thank you,
doesn't want big, strong men that could commit violence. So I'm gonna
Notice
go
you
with
put words in my mouth. I never
5'4"
said that or
thick
implied it.
Latinas because we know they can scrap.
Big
Somebody
booty
doesn't want to
Latina.
deport them, and I'm behind that movement.
Thank you.
But the thing is, in reality, you have to, and this is going to sound super cliche and shitty. You have to bridge the gap between community and police, right? If you don't, then nobody's going to respect you. And if you don't bridge that gap, if nobody respects you, then every time you show up, they're gonna disrespect you.
Yeah, I just finished watching The Wire. Well, long story short, I finished watching The Wire, and that's what I learned. Shout out to CT223. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you, sir.
If you don't bridge that gap, if nobody respects you, then every time you show up, they're gonna disrespect you, get in a fight with you, push the boundaries until they're resisting or obstructing, and then you have to effect an arrest. And so there is an image, like my fantastic partner has to show, that police officers should have because they are part of this larger authority of the community. Does that make sense?
So notice how easily he lied about my views and put words in my mouth. He said, I don't want cops to be big, burly guys. I said that the police, that's not what I said. I said the police as a career attracts violent people, and it's a small percentage. I said those words or words to that effect.
Did he say a small percentage? We're gonna fact check. He's been asking us to fact check everything. So we want to show the transcript. And what did he say?
Attracts violent people.
Okay, so attracts violent people. Control F. Oh, that's not how you spell that. Attracts nothing. Okay, so we got 1. We've got 2. Okay. Where is it? Why is it showing me 2, but there's only 1? It says 2, and then it keeps bringing me the same one. I said those words, so it should be earlier. Or maybe it on, okay, I think on the screen counts. Got it. Okay. So, so let's say violence, 34, 31. So we know where to jump back in. Let's just scroll through. Google violence. Someone likes to take out his violence. God damn it. Nice. Boom. So
go to where the children are. Violent people are going to be drawn to jobs where they're able to use violence without impunity. It's a small percentage, let me be clear. But
okay, fair. I didn't hear that. He did say it.
Cops are human beings, and human beings act in certain ways. So if I'm someone who's a sociopath, I'm going to be a politician. If I'm a loudmouth asshole, I'm going to be a podcaster. And if I'm someone who likes to take out his violence on other people legally, I'm going to end up as a cop.
All right. I mean, hey, that's why we fact check, because I didn't hear that part before. And was it 34, 31? And now we know. I thought he was kind of coping a little bit, but he's on it. CT said, Malice kind of got on my nerves this culture war. I agree with him a lot, but his attitude wasn't good for a debate. Completely agree. I wish that he would have engaged more, and I think there could have been really a really interesting conversation. We know that Michael Malice is he's good at talking. It's not like he has these ideas, but if he's challenged, he's going to retreat back into whatever. We know that he can handle that. And he just decided to not be like, I don't answer cops. Like, all right, bro, like, you're on a podcast. So what's next for Malice? Trans cops? Probably not, but we never really know where this guy's going, huh?
That's not what I said. I said the police as a career attracts violent people, and it's a small percentage. I said those words or words to that effect. At no point did I
and then he said words to that effect. So fair enough.
Say it's preferable for the police to be small people. And again, I don't care what you think about me. I don't care what you think about any of us on this panel. What I care about is when you talk to the police, they will easily twist your words without any guilt whatsoever or any kind of consequences or apology. And you're the one who will be ending up paying the price.
Yep. I'll tell you a little story about the first time I got arrested. I was in college and I was living with a couple roommates. Actually, I don't know if this is the first time, but either way, one of the times I got arrested. And my roommate was selling weed, but he was doing it in the dumbest way possible. Hold on one second. Let me get back on screen here. Hold on. There's many ways. Many ways to sell a marijuana. But this guy decided, this is when he was at Rutgers, he was still in school. He was also working a job. And so most of the day he was in class and then he had to work at night. So usually when he would come home from work at like 11 at night or whatever, then he would just have everybody come through. So there'd be like 10 people in a row, in and out. So obviously the cops fucking knew what was going on. Lucky for me, it was Rutgers PD and not New Brunswick PD. But yeah, they raided our house one day, and they were there for him. And because it was a roommate situation, the warrant only extended to the common areas and his room. So when this is all happening, I'm thinking we're getting robbed because we got boom on the door. And I think we're getting robbed. I grabbed Morty and I couldn't find my shoes. And that might be a good thing because I was at the back of the house and I had a door directly outside. So I got Morty. I'm like, where the fuck are my shoes? And by the time I found them, they were like, it's the police. We're, whatever. They definitely did not say anything on their way in. Anyway, so once I realized that, I'm like, okay, we're not getting robbed. I don't need to run away. They're not here for me. So I open my door and they're trying to like bust my door in. But from inside my bedroom at that house, you would open the door outwards. So they're trying to push it in. It doesn't go that way. And so I'm like, I have my dog in my hand. I am coming out slowly. So, whatever. So I got Morning here. I push the door out. And then I didn't think to close the door behind me. There was less than an eighth of weed sitting on my dresser in sight of the cracked door. And so, they sit us all down and they're, going through the whole thing and they're going to arrest my roommate. And the one cop says to me, look, I saw you've got stuff on your dresser. I don't really care about that. We're really here about distribution and so on and so forth. And again, I know better now. But they were like, if we got to make sure there's nothing else in there. And I'm trying to be like, look, I'm admitting to the fact that there's weed on the table. You saw that. You saw the bowl sitting next there. You do with that what you need to do. I don't want you searching anymore in my room. There was other bowls and bongs and stuff. I don't even know if there was any other weed, but who knows? And then in general, I just had a lot of equipment set up. So I was like, I don't really want you guys like tearing up my fucking room when everything that I have is right there. And he told me that, look, if you let us search and there's nothing else there, we'll just let you go. I'm like, all right, cool. There's nothing else there. So search my room. So it was me, two other roommates, and one of the roommates' girlfriends. We're all sitting in the living room, handcuffed while they're searching. And finally, everything's done. They take my roommate who's been selling. They take him out the door. Then they unlock roommate number 2. Unlock roommate number 3. Unlock roommate number 3's girlfriend's handcuffs. And then I'm like, okay, my turn. My turn. He's like, nope, you're coming with us.
What?
I'm like, you fucking said you would let me go.
Oh, hell.
He was like, yeah, we meant like released on your own recognizance. You still got to come down and get booked. I'm like, motherfucker. If I knew that's what you meant, because they did the whole, well, we're going to have to come back with a warrant. And I was like, you already saw that. I may as well just get this over with because of the fact that you already saw it. If I had remembered to close my door, or if I didn't see anything, there's not a fucking chance in the world I would have let them search my room. But in my head, there was nothing to lose. There was nothing to lose. Well, that was wrong. Always smile for your monk shot. Why do you say that? Interesting. Yeah, Fourth Amendment. I do not consent to any search and seizures without a hand-signed warrant from a judge with my name on it. Fifth, I do not answer questions without a lawyer present. That is what I should have known back then, but I know all too well now. Your lawyer will tell you to shut the fuck up.
Man, I disagree.
That's nice.
Oh, that's nice.
No, let Jason. Well, Jason, what do you got for us? What do you think?
I look like an asshole. I look like a criminal. Usually, when I talk to him, like when I'm calm and I'm not like doing anything illegal, and I go, "Hey, man,
That's because you're white."
I get it. I look like this, but I'm not doing anything bad." They're very nice to me.
I'm sure. I'm not doubting.
Have I bumped into an asshole cop? Yeah, but that's like you're trying to say that cops wanted that job so they can be pricks. There's pricks all over the place that aren't police.
That's true.
There's a bunch of people that have bad days and they act like assholes.
Absolutely.
But there's also cops. I've been smoking weed in Australia where it was completely illegal, and they were like, you're harmless. Off you go. They could have fucked my whole life right there.
Okay.
They
Harmless. Jesus, that was a dumb cop.
Okay.
Okay, I changed my mind. You're right. But fucking jerk.
So let's talk about that poll. Are you more pro or anti-police? I am amazed. That 85% of you are more pro-cop than anti-cop. I expected it to be a plurality, but I expected it to be more like a 60-40. But man, you guys really are some fucking bootlickers.
First of all, you're one data point, and you're absolutely correct.
How dare you be that data point and not a person? Good call, cop.
Okay.
That was a good one.
Point being, every field, you're absolutely correct. Have people who are assholes. Beauty.
Yeah, exactly. Equality. And saying you're tiny. So the big cops must have been scary. They fucking were.
Point being, every field, you're absolutely correct. Have people who are assholes. Beauty queens, politicians, teachers, barbers, everything, any kind of. It is only the police when someone is an asshole that they have the legal right and discretion to, if you're giving them an attitude, throw you in the back of their cop car and fuck your shit up for a very long time. That's all I'm saying.
Well, let's clarify that. They actually don't. But the argument is they have connections and
What do you mean? They can get you for resisting. They can get you for disorderly conduct.
Right. My point is, to the letter of the law, they can't legally do that. You're saying they have to lie and break the law to get away with it.
A lot of those things are in the opinion of the officer.
So he's saying the laws are set up that you can do what is unethical or immoral based on the convenience of the cop. Similarly to, we talk about semantic obfuscation and in argument, in debate, the lefty will has the discretion that racism means this when I need it to mean this, or it means that when I need it to mean that. He said one time I was stopped walking home at 4 a.m. Suspected me of breaking into cars and asked to search my bag. I politely said no, but I would open it for him and he can look inside. Loads of drugs stashed. He didn't see anything and let me go.
And he will testify.
Let me try this. Can you, for any reason, because you're angry, make up charges against
No, you got to
somebody?
make up a charge. Yeah.
Can you make up charge against somebody?
No.
That never happened.
Bullshit. Yes, you can make up charges.
But cops do lie.
Okay.
Cops lie,
And that's illegal to falsely
and
charge
it is
somebody.
illegal to lie, and there are repercussions for those people that do.
Maybe sometimes. But you're going to tell me every single time a cop lies, there's a consequence? Stop the cap, brother. Stop the cap. Like, this is the shit that pisses me off. This is the shit that pisses me off. Just acknowledge that you have these privileges and powers. As we're all saying, it's not the individual cop's fault that the system is the way that it is. And because of the fact that the system is the way that there can be no good cops because you're whatever. But at the same point, if you're a good person and you're trying to do your job the right way, then why are you trying to downplay the fact that there are real abuses that happen from police officers? You should be the first one. People are like, yeah, I have all these stories, but of cops abusing people or abusing their power. Wait, this guy did that, but I hated it, and we brought it up to this and the rest of it. But you don't have those fucking stories because everybody got away with all of it.
Okay.
Cops lie,
And that's illegal to falsely
and
charge
it is
somebody.
illegal to lie, and there are repercussions for those people that do it.
But the argument, Michael, is that you're saying they get away with it, which I don't disagree with.
Yes. Here's
Not that
something
they have
else.
a legal right to do it.
Assume everything I'm saying is not true. What I would encourage people to do, as I've done, is watch a lot of police body cam footage.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
and-
agree with that.
And I'm not
Sounds
finished.
great.
It's going to make you appreciate what the cops have to do a lot more. Because if you're calling the cops, you're not calling the cops because things are nice. It's not like, oh, hey, officer, we're having a birthday party. Would you like a piece of cake, please? Right? Here's the thing. If your day, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, is dealing with shitty people doing shitty stuff, it does a number on you. Because what? Cops are what? Human beings. I had a friend, Jim Moore. He was a sheriff in rural Illinois. Great guy. And part of his gig before he was a sheriff was investigating child abuse.
Oh, me too.
I never asked him for details because I didn't want to know. I don't think anyone in this room wants to know. The kinds of things people do to their own kids, let alone foster kids, is unimaginable. And after a while, he quit. And do you know why he quit? Because it got to him. How could it not get to you?
How could it not? How could it not?
You do that kind
Guys, don't forget, we are 2 out of 15 of any amount of donations, but we are 30 out of $50 total. Let's hit that goal.
of stuff inside and out. You're going to look at people in a whole different way. And that's what happens. It's not even their fault. You show up like this young guy on the force and you're trying to help your community. After a while, people yell at you. You see these police body cam where someone's like literally a shooter. The cops try to take him down and he's swarmed in the ghetto and they feel very unsafe. And you don't blame them for feeling very unsafe. My point is, after a while.
And this is what I was saying before about how he's not just going and blanketly saying cops are bad because bad are bad are bad are bad. He has articulable reasons. I just don't understand why he won't engage with the cop in front of him. Like I said, we see all the crappy encounters. I would argue we do not see all the. I would say we don't see most of the good encounters. Where are you seeing good encounters with police officers? What do you mean? Why do they feel unsafe? Why do they feel unsafe when they're getting swarmed by a group of people? Yeah, I'll just drop the link. You want to come up? Here, yeah. What you talking about, Willis? Box. Oh, god damn it, we're not friends on here. We gotta be friends, buddy. Type something in the actually no, I'll do this. Here, I just sent the I just put the link in the Discord. So if you want to come on up, come on up. We'll do a little side quest.
Formed in the ghetto, and they feel very unsafe, and you don't blame them.
So that's why I don't fully understand the question.
Shooter, the cops try to take him down, and he's swarmed in the ghetto, and they feel very unsafe, and you don't blame him for feeling very unsafe. My point is, after a while, this hardens you, right? And if you have that interaction with that hardened cop who's having a bad day, you're the one who's going to be paying the price for it, and it's not even his fault.
Let me ask you this, Rich.
And again, I like that. It's not even his fault. These are human beings.
I think it might have been a donut operator who told the story. I could be wrong, where they had just gotten a call about a child that was killed in a car accident, a baby.
That was Cody, yeah.
And then after that, he has to go deal with some angry woman who's bitching at him.
A Karen.
And they don't understand what he just witnessed and experienced.
Right.
And it's like torturous.
It's difficult. Yeah,
if it bleeds, it leads. Again, Box, if you didn't hear me, the link is right there in the free chat.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, like the job comes with risks that are involved. It doesn't mean that you deserve those risks, but it means that there's risks that are involved. I currently get mental health from a psychiatrist because I need it. Because I'm an SVU detective, so I deal with crimes against children, domestic abuse, sexual assault.
No human can handle it on their own.
Correct.
It's not possible.
They need help, and yeah, it is difficult. But at the same time, I haven't had the spillover that other police officers have, so it's hard for me to connect with that.
Would you know it if you had?
What's that?
Would you know it if you had?
Yeah.
No. That is a great question, Michael Malice.
It's difficult, but at the same time, I haven't had the spillover that other police officers have, so it's hard for me to connect with that.
Would you know it if you had?
Would you know it if it got to a certain level? Yes. But what if you were just, let's say that we're talking spillover. Up to here, you're fine. If you're here, you're probably like, I'm not spilling over. But what about if you're right here? Yeah, if you're up here, you'd be like, oh man, this is too much for me. That I get. But to Michael's question, if this is the line, and you're right there, would you know? I don't think so. I
haven't had the spillover that other police officers have, so it's hard for me to connect with that.
Would you know it if you had?
I'm just, well, that's what I'm saying. Did you want to come up, or are you just giving examples, or what? Because I mean, I understand what a good police encounter is. I'm not confused as to what that means. I'm saying, how often do you just happen upon a good encounter with a police officer versus scrolling on X, TikTok, whatever, YouTube to see a bad encounter? That's what I mean. So, and then obviously the notion that it makes perfect sense to be afraid of getting swarmed in the hood when you're a cop, and you're asking why they feel unsafe. So if you want to come up, the link is there. Let's talk about it. But if you're just showing some links, then yeah, we all know what it means to. It just means that you interact with a cop, and nothing bad happened.
I haven't had the spillover that other police officers have, so it's hard for me to connect with that.
Would you know it if you had?
What's that?
Would you know it if you had?
Yes, because you know what? You're right. I did have spillover. And I had good officers that were next to me that pulled me aside and said, you need to sit down. You need to cool off. And there are laws right now in New York State, I forget what law it's called, where it is an officer's duty to intervene if another officer is doing excessive force.
And we know that cops always do their duty, right?
In their eyes.
Yeah, but
in their eyes. Is this excessive force in your eyes? No, not at all. I mean, maybe somebody else could argue, but in my eyes, as a police officer, no, all good here.
There are laws right now in New York State, I forget what law it's called, where it is an officer's duty to intervene if another officer is doing excessive force.
Thank you, Zippy. Have a good one, brother.
In their eyes.
Yeah, but there's also a duty in the military if people have to do that. Then you have the My Lai massacre.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Just because something's on paper, and I'm sure that happens sometimes. I'm sure there's a lot of times because you trust your partner, people trust their partners. you see your partner being out of control, and you're like, oh shit, thanks for checking me. Like, and that person will be grateful. But there's plenty of other times when you and your partner, it's you two against the world, and someone who's, you know, from a certain socioeconomic class is giving you lip, and you're not having it that day. And I don't know that I would do differently in that position.
I love that that is part of his argument, that I don't know if I would do different, because it's not that you are a bad person. It is that being a police officer is inherently evil. Inherently evil.
Not pretending otherwise.
Let's get some more people.
All right, let's get some more people. Now, this name, what is
Yeah. Oh, so absolutely. That's why I'm saying I disagreed with the notion that we all see the good encounters. I don't know that people do see good encounters. At least not to any degree where it compares with the level of crappy encounters that we see. That is everywhere. You can't walk down the street in any city, town, where you can't walk down the street where there's people walking on the street and say, have you seen a negative body cam? And they say no. If they're under the age of 60, there is no possible way that you're asking random people, and more than one or two say, no, I've never seen that. Now, do that same exact thing in that same exact area and ask somebody, have you seen a video? Let's just see what the box is talking about. Have you ever seen a video like this?
She's not right. Hey, baby. Come on, baby. Hold on. Yeah, we're doing that also. She just had a bottle. That's all she had. 11, 10, 7 babies. Got the eyes open, but not crying. Yeah, she please. Eyes are open, but I don't think. Ziana. Child appears to be choking, approximately 2 months old. Hey, baby, she's only like nothing. Okay. Hey, Yana. Where are you from? Come on, Mika, come on.
I see a bunch of black people and a white baby. Where's the white?
Come on, baby, come on. Where? Baby, come on, Ziana. Hey. Hold on. Ziana. She started to cry a little bit. Did you try to do a finger sweep? Yeah, she's not moving. There's nothing in her mouth right now. Nothing that I can see. I've been giving her about 5 or 6 back thrusts and small compressions here. Do y'all know? There we go. Come on, baby. Do you know for sure that she did get something in her? Only that she had a bottle. I just had her. She did have a bottle. Oh, there we go. She's there we go. Sweetie. Hi. She doesn't make those sounds. She doesn't make any sounds at all.
Yeah, so I mean, fantastic. I don't think anybody is confused as to what a good encounter with the police is, and I don't think anybody is consciously thinking that good interactions with the police don't exist. The problem is that because of the fact bad interactions are so commonly shared around and commonly talked about, that it shifts their perspective. This is the representative heuristic. I talk about this with I've told this story about before, but maybe you're new here. So one time I was younger, and me and Papa Lutch were at the mall, and we saw a guy in military camo go on by. And it just occurred to me, I was like, Dad, why, if you're in the army or in the military, do you always have to wear your uniform? What? He's like, what? What are you talking about? Like, every time I see somebody in the military, they're always in their uniform. It's like, yeah. How do you know that they're in the military if they're not in their uniform? I was like, oh, shit. I never fucking realized that. And so because you see people in a military outfits walking around, you could understand, or you could come to the misunderstanding that you always have to wear that. Another popular example of this is plane crashes. Air travel is the safest way to travel, but because every time there is a plane crash, it's in the news, and there's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of flights every day that go off without a hitch, then you don't technically, or I don't know why I said technically, you don't necessarily think of like how all those flights do well if you're going to be scared of flying. Shout out to Koi Kehoe. Welcome to the parties. This is why it should be illegal for women to vote and drive cars. I mean, I'll leave that one to you. Welcome to the party. Let's dive back in, yeah.
Is this Alex, Alabama? What is this? Alex, ALA, Alex Alaburn? Alex, hurry up. Let's go. Oh, I like this guy. Let's go.
At least we don't have Gavin being like, ooh, a name. Wow, names are names.
Alex, I know it is tight quarters, but come on down.
Oh, we got a
Things are
big
going to get
boy.
spicy. You're going to have 1 minute. Either ask us a question if you want to debate something.
Can you have
I just got sort of a long question.
Guys, don't forget, we are coming up on the 2-hour mark. If you would like to keep the party raging, you know how to do
For
it.
Michael.
Oh God, these are always so much fun. Can you have a 5-minute speech first too?
No. If you're against police, do you think individuals should be trained in
the
public?
mic.
Sorry. If you're against police, do you think individuals should be trained in public schools to de-escalate, shoot, fight hand-to-hand combat, handle crime scenes evience?
Wait, who is he asking about?
The
Other
mic.
people?
Sorry. If you're against police, do you think individuals should
So just part of the regular, everybody learns this
be trained in public schools to de-escalate, shoot, fight hand-to-hand combat, handle crime scenes evidence, large-scale criminal organizations?
I think there's a
large-scale criminal organizations. That's not really what's the word I'm looking for? Like a vigilante. That's not like a vigilante or neighborhood watch type thing.
lot of young men in this audience and elsewhere who would be great assets to their community. And if they are more encouraged to be de-escalating, and like if you see in a bar, right, there's two guys getting a fight. Very quickly, most of the time, people jump in, strangers, and separate them. In this country, I can't speak for other countries, there's a huge motive and part of our culture that we help each other out. We try to de-escalate violence and we try to prevent violence. What happens when you have
What are you talking about?
Have you seen the videos from Cincinnati?
People just pull their phones out and film it. They don't help shit.
Yep.
True.
in certain
Very, very true. Very true. Where's the
cultures, yes. That's true.
Hashtag
In
I
our
don't want to be
culture.
sued.
There's lots of other. In DC, I'm not speaking. Okay, DC's fair. DC's very different. Sorry, Texas has spoiled me. In certain parts of this country, thank you for the correction. In certain parts of the country, it is very much the case that people are neighborly. If there's a problem in the neighborhood, people try to get together and solve it. That is very much discouraged. And just like charity is very much discouraged, because you have the government to rely on that puts less and less responsibility for individuals to fix this. And a great example of this is, again, Daniel Penny, or Perry, I forgot his name. I'm sorry, New York.
Both, actually.
Right,
both,
it was
yeah.
both.
He's probably talking about Daniel Penny, the subway guy who choked out Jordan Neely. But either way,
There's two. One, Penny was in New York and Perry was in Austin. Perry was the guy who.
Oh no, in New York,
Yeah.
Daniel Penny.
Right.
Yeah.
Perry was the guy where the guy at the protest showed up with a rifle at low ready.
I just
And
like
when
how
he
you
shot to defend himself. They arrested and charged him.
So I would love it if not only were more people incentivized and have that sense.
hold on, I want to try something.
So
Nope.
no one's coming to help me, because when crime is seconds away, the cops are minutes away. And one of the great things about living in Austin is knowing that I sleep with a piece under my bed and one in my office. And if someone comes into my house, I'm not going to have to.
Except Daniel Perry was in his car driving when a mob, a protest vehicle, one guy had an AK, low ready, raised up, and when he saw the gun rising, being raised, he shot him, and he got charged,
Okay.
and then he got convicted, and then had to get a pardon from the governor.
Which is going to Michael's own point that the not the police necessarily, but the law enforcement apparatus will more go over you for protecting the peace than the criminal who instigated the situation.
I got pardoned.
Indeed, but that's still Texas.
Sure. I'm Austin is a little bit of an outlier, but
I feel you, bro. FTP. I don't go with ACAB, but FTP. Dealing with Michael Malice.
point is, I'm not in favor of that verdict. I'm saying that's the kind of thing that should be encouraged more of.
Here's what I want
And
to
it's
say.
not.
Let's call somebody.
Real quick. What I want to address this in that it seems like the real issue is not police at all. It's cultural fragmentation.
Well,
if you have
what do you mean by fragmentation?
if you have a village of 100 people,
Sure.
and they all say Rich is going to be our cop, we trust him when we like this guy. when he stops somebody, he knows that he's got fear of being shunned or ostracized for acting out of line.
Yes,
And so the problem we have now is in these very large cities of millions of people, the cops are like, don't know you, don't care, I'm done with you.
Well, this is actually something that they tried to fight, because for a long time you would have white cops in black neighborhoods, and this naturally had some kind of antagonism. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, guy. Look, lay down the law over there. Law.
But
Get it.
All right, let's call the next
let me
person.
finish my point. But the point
okay.
is, so there was a movement from police districts to recruit people from those neighborhoods, and I think that's a very commendable situation. And it's always better when there is this kind of semblance of people knowing each other, because that de-escalates things immediately. If you and I got in a fight, as opposed to me or you getting in a fight with a stranger, it's very different.
Yeah.
All right, our next person coming up, Taylor Lorenz's ex-wife. Come on down.
Oh my goodness.
Hurry up, Taylor Lorenz's ex-wife.
I don't know. I don't like what the StreamYard did. They have the chat over here in the corner, but now all my banners don't fit. I don't want a 2-string banner. Make it smaller and fit in one row.
On down. Hurry up, Taylor Lorenz's ex-wife.
Actually, I kind of like that.
I know you got to put on your freaking burqa or your hijab.
Hurry
up.
She's got the mask, but she's got long
Quit
COVID.
running into walls.
You look like you're gonna kick my ass when you get over here. Hang on.
Hormone. All right, therapy. All right, what do you
Mortal
got for us?
Kombat. No.
Looks like
Is
that an Assassin's Creed getup?
I can't see anything with these glasses.
I think that's the
All
point.
right, what do you got for us?
Fuck.
Come on.
We're
Hang on, hang on.
Speak into the mic. Let's go.
We're getting there. We're unlocking the phone.
Unlocking the
It's
phone.
the phone.
See if she was already up there.
First off, y'all, a bunch of animals. You're putting
Yeah.
everyone's life at risk by not wearing a mask. COVID-19 is very serious.
Thanks for trolling me.
Don't interrupt. Let Taylor Lorenz go.
Okay, regarding William McNeil, I've seen both videos.
William McNeil. Which one's William McNeil? William McNeil. Oh, the guy that got.
It's caught on camera in Florida. Authorities are defending the officer's actions. We do want to warn you. Some of you.
This has now released body cam. Florida Sheriff's Office has now released body camera.
Exit the vehicle now.
Bam!
The vehicle.
The Jacksonville, Florida Sheriff's Office has now.
That's who we talking about. William McNeil.
Okay, regarding William McNeil, I've seen both videos. I believe the headlights not being on is a bullshit charge, so this may have been a DWB, but I believe he also had a suspended license, and they
DWB. Driving while black.
may have known that, pulling him over, but that wasn't mentioned in the video, I don't believe. Could that have been a factor in the stop?
Which stop and who?
The guy who got his window punched out, and then he got punched in the face.
But
Like
he
2
had
weeks
weed
ago.
on him too, though. That guy he got arrested with.
He got punched in the face. Was that okay?
Yeah, right? Like, is having weed on you a justification for cops to punch you in the face? I don't think so.
But
Like
he
2
had
weeks
weed
ago.
on him too, though. That guy he got arrested with.
He got
weed.
punched in the face. Was that okay?
No, that one didn't look good.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me ask you.
Again, notice the little things. The little things. When, like, that wasn't good, right? And instead of saying, no, that was not good. That was bad. That should not have happened. That guy did not deserve that. What is his response?
That guy he got arrested with.
He got punched in the face. Was that okay?
No, that one didn't look good.
It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. No. It is bad. It is bad. It looks bad because it is bad.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me
But,
ask you in all seriousness. If a cop punches someone who's clearly not fighting back in the face, should that cop go to jail?
Yes.
He should get assault just like everybody else.
Okay, great. Okay, we're on the same page.
Okay. Anyway.
What are the likelihood
Why-
that he'll
why
get assault
don't they?
charges?
What's that?
What's the likelihood that he will get charged?
And I'm going to be honest with you because you've been honest with me so far. Because it's on camera, pretty good.
That's fair.
Okay. Fair. But moving the goalpost. Fair. He's likely to get charged. Is he likely to actually get convicted?
And I'm going to be honest with you because you've been honest with me so far. Because it's on camera, pretty good.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because it's on camera, pretty good.
Fuck yeah,
right?
kumbaya, motherfuckers.
Because it's not. If it wasn't on camera, there would be more of a difficulty of a burden of proof. But also because of your distrust of police, something that's happened, I think, in the positivity that people thought was going to be a bad thing is that more and more officers are getting body cams.
That's right.
And I don't know if you'll agree with me or not, but I feel that since more and more body cams have come out, you've actually seen the police are more correct and honest in their police report taking and arrests than dishonest. Like,
or maybe it is the fact that the camera is there. I know this is not the observer effect in quantum physics, but the observer effect. Maybe the fact that, oh, now we've got a camera here. I've definitely got to, report everything as it happened. Unlike before I had a camera on me and I just wrote whatever the fuck I wanted to write. Yeah, no? Yeah, right. Boss is feeling himself. He's feeling himself. But hey, that brings him up to number 2 top fan. That's free shit.
And honest in their police report taking and arrests than dishonest, like astronomical.
So I want to.
Actually, I forgot. Funkmaster General took himself out of the running for the top chat, the top fan giveaway. So, Box, you are now number 1. TV Viewerski trailing behind by 50 points, and then Zippy and Dylan. And everybody else actually tied. So
then dishonest, like astronomical.
So I want to. Is she still talking? Okay. I want to agree with you and add something else. I think the percent of cops that people regard as corrupt is far lower in reality than people have claimed.
One more time.
I want to agree with you and add something else. I think the percent of cops that people regard as corrupt.
So the percent that people regard cops as corrupt. So, like, if you were to say, I think 60% of all cops are corrupt,
is far lower in reality than people have claimed.
Yep, completely agree. But it's systemic.
The corrupt ones are not the ones getting bribed on the take. That's not a significant issue. It's the good cops that are the problem, because they are the ones who will smile and nod and follow orders from politicians and do whatever they're told. And I'll give you a very easy example.
Yep. One bad apple spoils the bunch. You guys have seen Better Call Saul? What happened? What happened with Mike's son? What happened with Mike's son? He was a good guy. He was on the job for the right reasons. But everyone else around him was like, hey, we're shady as fuck. We're stealing money. We're doing this. We're doing that. If you don't do it, then we don't trust you. And then he didn't even want to do it. He didn't want to do it. And yet, good old daddy, who's been on the force, listen, this is how it goes. All right, just take the money. Dead. Spoiler alert. It's not the bad cops. It's the quote-unquote good ones. You pro-coppers, argue against that, please.
That's not a significant issue. It's the good cops that are the problem, because they are the ones who will smile and nod and follow orders from politicians and do whatever they're told. And I'll give you a very easy example. Cops are what?
Okay. Human.
Let me finish.
But Michael, we
No,
need
I'm
to
gonna-
include the audience a little bit. You're just talking the whole time.
I'm sorry. Okay.
I know. I'm just saying. Every time we make a point, should we have some people interactive and get them involved?
No, I just want to. I didn't come up here
like an officer of the law.
I didn't come up here to listen to randos. I'm sorry, and that includes
that's part
that
of the
includes you,
show.
Alex. Well, I wasn't told this.
No. Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna
I
say one more
apologize.
thing.
I want to say, Michael, you sound, when you say I'm not going to answer your questions and I don't want to hear from other people, this is like an unreasonable position.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Tim. I'd be fucking pissed at Michael if I was a Tim right now. You're coming in a costume that kind of sends the message that, like, okay, we're here for something. Something's gonna happen. And then you just, he's a cop. I'm not talking to him. You sound like a 15-year-old girl. A 15-year-old girl with some good ideas, but I would like to understand those ideas better. And you're not helping yourself or anybody else. Be like, no, I have the right answers. Just listen to me because I said so.
Okay, can I make my point?
Yes.
Thank you.
Is that not what you've been doing this entire time? Cops bad. We got it.
If you went back to 20, I'm not here to be reasonable. If you went, I don't have to be reasonable. I got a badge. If you went back, if you went back to 2019 and asked doctors, hey, Would you ever give a medication to every single one of your patients, even for a disease that they can't really get? I'd never do that. Hippocratic oath. Are you crazy? That's insane. Then COVID happened, and there were some who didn't, but they all bent the knee because doctors and like cops are human beings. So they will always bend the knee to those in power if it means their job.
I'm starting to hate human beings.
Yeah, I know.
I don't blame you.
Cops are human beings.
Hey guys, real quick. I did have a part 2 to that.
Oh God.
Yeah. And that is it's an easy way because of course, him and Dave Smith are good friends. And that is a little bit of the an issue that I have with Dave Smith. And Dave Smith over the past year or so, not quite, has taken the number 1 spot from Tim by a mile. So Dave Smith is my guy, but he is a libertarian and anarcho-capitalist type dude. And it's just, it's not like, I'll speak about Dave. I don't listen to Michael Malice that often, but it's a little bit of a shield where it's like, my ideas are so ridiculous, not so ridiculous. Let me take that off. My ideas are so radical that they're never actually going to play out in society. So I have the benefit of being like, well, how do you know I'm not right? How do you know I'm not right? When it's like, we have good reasons to think that your ideas don't even make sense on paper. And then we bring you here to talk about it. You're like, I'm not talking to the cop. Well, then you're not an effective communicator, bro. I'm sorry. But you don't just get to feel like, well, I'm right, so everybody should believe me. That's not how this works. Go to the left. That's what they do over there. Over here, we want answers. Folks, I've never seen this before. By the way, this is all what I think off the cuff. That's what we're doing. Shout out to Matthew King. Welcome to the party. Said I love Rich. Are you? So I'll ask you directly. This was our poll before. If you had to pick a side, you can't be 50-50. You have to pick a side. This is to you, Matthew. You have to pick a side. Would you pick the pro-cop side or the anti-cop side? Let's see. Fox said, I came in pro-cop, so nuance real hard. I still stand here. There you go. There you go.
I know.
I don't blame you.
Cops are human beings.
Hey guys, real quick. I did have a part 2 to that.
God,
I didn't really get it all out.
God, I didn't even know you're still here,
it's just-
Taylor Lorenz. Oh, you scared me. I'm scared to
It's
death.
just like when I call in, I don't shut up. All right. Okay. So, what can we do to get it to be normalized for police departments to drop the body cam footage sooner and faster, especially when a viral encounter like William McNeil takes place?
All right, go sit down.
It's a good question, and it's not going to be one that you want because it's going to be the real one. So the thing is that whenever there's a crime that's committed, we don't want the public to overreact.
That's right.
And then obstruct justice.
Yep.
And not like in a physical aspect, but to like blame the person, whether it's the cop or the individual, for guilt. So you have to be very careful with how much information you put out at a time. Let's say that it's something more heinous like a murder or a serious assault where somebody's shot. You can blame
or the Epstein files.
Somebody, and social media is well known for this. I've done a couple of videos, angry cops. Anyway, so you've got to be careful with the amount of information that you put out. And
I was going to say, if we had time, we could check out the channel, but we got 15 minutes left. I don't know if we are going to be able to keep the party
what
raging.
information you put out. And
at least I don't have to do no fucking push-ups. At least I don't have to fucking do push-ups. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. No push-ups for me.
Although police departments need to be responsible and react to community requests in order to, once again, gain the trust of the community, which is important. We also have to put the investigation above that because the victims, because the victims are the most important thing when it comes to an investigation.
And look at that happen with George Floyd. You saw just the clip at the very end. Then when everyone saw the broader context, a very different story.
Hey, me and you, Matt, like, I think it was, do we have it here? 85% of them. 85% of people said pro-cop. And, I mean, I'm pro-law and order, but fuck the police. I'm not an ACAB guy, but I'm definitely fuck the police. So you just if the cops started live streaming, that would be lit. There was a show that was on, I think it was on FX for a while, where they had like 6 different police departments that were streaming, and they would have like, they'd have like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or something like that. And you have these different monitors, and like they just go, okay, let's check in with Tennessee. They're arresting this dude, and then that kind of slows down. And like, all right, let's back up. Let's go into Florida. They're doing this. I forget what show that is, but it was awesome, and it was exactly this. I'm sure if you Google it or ask ChatGPT, it'll let you know. Matthew says, I'm pro-cop in theory, not in practice. This is something I did not expect from Box. My goodness. I'm assuming, maybe I shouldn't be, but I'm assuming you're talking about Chauvin. And I agree, but I don't feel like you would agree. So you say, what do you mean by that, though? Pro law and order, but anti-cops doesn't work. We need better training and psych evaluations, but we need cops. I agree. It means that exactly what Matthew said, that in theory, I believe in the fact that we need a system. There needs to be an accepted authority, and there needs to be people watching over our society and making sure that our laws are enforced. But the problem is that that's not always how it works out. And exactly as Michael Malice has been saying, it's too easy and too often that cops take the power that they have and abuse it. And I don't necessarily mean, oh, they're shooting onto my black man. Like, I got pulled over coming home from work one night, and, I have my anxiety medication, and I have it on me because first of all, I need it throughout the day. And secondly, it's a calming factor to know that, some shit went down and I wasn't able to get back home for another 12 hours. Like, I have it on me. And so I was just driving home from work in my uniform. This was maybe 8 or 9 years ago, something like that. And they were like, oh, well, we smell alcohol. I'm like, yeah, I just came from a restaurant, bro. Like, the whole fucking thing. I'm in my shirt. And so they searched the whole car. They found my medicine, and they were like, "You selling this?" I'm like, "Bro, first of all, do you know shit about shit? If I was gonna sell that, that would be worth like $8. You think I'm riding around dirty for $8? And then also, it's my fucking name on the bottle." They're like, we can't prove it, but I know you're selling this stuff. I'm like, so I'm in the position. I'm like, sir, I don't want to argue with you, but you're incorrect about this. This is medicine that I take as instructed. You didn't need to know that, maybe a year or two prior to that, I absolutely was abusing that medication. That's not the point. In that moment, I did absolutely nothing wrong. And yet, I was being treated like somebody who had. There you go. Live PD. Shout out to Live PD. So that's what I mean. Anti-cop is a broad term. It implies no cops. That's why I think 85% of the poll, we need cops. And fair enough. But again, you guys know that I purposely do these. I purposely do it vague so that you have to interpret it. Because I'm not just interested in your answer. I'm interested in how you interpret the question that I ask. I'm very deliberate with the words that I use. I'm very deliberate with being vague about certain things because I want you to be like, well, I don't fully know what that means. I'm going to read it this way. Sometimes I don't do that. Like with the gay marriage one I put on my community tab. That I'm really just interested in your position. So I explained it rather clearly. But especially on stream, when we can talk about it and you don't have to answer before you ask me, I may not answer the question, but if you had asked me, does anti-cop mean that you want no cops? I would have said no. Dylan said that was Live PD. It lasted for a few years until 21, until a BLM post-Floyd debacle involving production caused the show to be canceled. Since come back as a new show? Well, maybe we should check that shit out. Buck said every person now said the same thing. The cops are okay. The laws and the people who make them are fucked. We all see it in the chat, in the video, and in the chat and in the video. We all see it's the laws. Yep. But the problem is that even if it is somewhat, I'll say somewhat, even if it's somewhat justified to be enforcing bad laws, because maybe they're not egregious, but they're bad laws, it is still your job to enforce the laws that are on the books. And as we're talking about, the cop does not have the ability to litigate the law. It's their job to enforce it. I don't know where I was going with that. But basically, the enforcement aspect has a lot to be desired. Let's just put it that way. All right. Let's see what he is going, where he's going with this. And then it's time for the after party. If you guys are not familiar, well, if you guys are enjoying the show, the party rages on 24/7 over in our Discord. The link is pinned to the top of the chat and is absolutely free to join 24/7. We are in there hanging out, having a great time. And guys, it is absolutely free. However, if you are a member of this channel here on YouTube, you can scroll right below that video and hit that join button. Starts at $2.99. There's a few different tiers, but $2.99 will get you in. It gets you members only live streams here on YouTube, all that other good stuff. But it opens up the full Discord server. So we've got the free chat that is open to anyone. Anybody can join and talk. But as you can see, that is just one of our channels. There's a bunch of different channels here, including our Disciple chat for members only, our Word of the Day watch party, where we're talking about all this stuff. And of course, we have the voice channel here.
That's true.
All
All
right.
right.
We are hanging out at this moment in the after party. Shout out to everybody in the Discord server. Say hello and tell them to come and join. There you go, guys. Simple as that. See you there. And of course, remember, guys, that after party you just saw is for members only. All of the channels besides the free channel are for members only. But you can get a day pass by just clicking that pinned link. It will get you in the Discord, and you can come hang out. And as you see, whether you want to cam up or not, you are on screen with me and everybody else. It is a good time. Come and join us.
So just the clip at the very end. Then when everyone saw the broader context, it's a very different story.
That's true. All right, Dante, get your ass down here. Where's Dante?
We can
Dante.
still talk while they walk,
Yes,
you know.
can. Yeah,
we can still talk while they walk.
That's what I'm saying. We can talk while they come up. So
we could call a second person, so there is no time between when they're walking.
What do you guys want to go ahead?
You barely said anything, and you look like a felon out of all of us.
Appreciate that.
Is the heart tattoo for one of the bodies you've killed or one of the wieners that you've taken?
Oh, man.
That came out of nowhere. God damn. God damn. All right. 6 minutes, guys. 6 minutes. If we don't get a donation, the party is over.
For one of the bodies you've killed or one of the wieners that you've taken?
Oh, man.
As a comedian, you have to respect the joke. I'm not Kill Tony.
Okay.
We're both bald?
You can find out afterwards if you want.
Yikes. So Matthew's saying we need to train cops in BJJ so they know legit takedowns. Stop hiring women that can't take down a man, and then stop trying them online when shit happens. Allow the investigation to play out, and I'm sure there's more coming. But I don't disagree that cops should have some understanding of the physics of jiu-jitsu, but it's been shown time and time and time and time and time again that on outside of a sporting aspect, you just need to get slammed once. You need to get stepped on once. If it's one-on-one and you're on grass or something, that's one thing. But as soon as you add more people, you add weapons, it doesn't really make it's not really as effective. But I still agree with you. I still agree with you. There's no standard. I mean, equality of opportunity, sure, but DEI, I'm good.
He is a cop, though. I mean, maybe don't fight a cop. But okay,
And that's how his dog got shot. Cops kill 30 dogs a day, 10,000 a year, and no repercussions.
I'm not the ATF.
that's not true. They kill 30 dogs a day.
Dude, we covered it.
You know what?
last night. They shoot dogs all the
I
time.
know that happens. at
Assume I'm
30
I know that. Yeah, I was saying I know they shoot dogs all the time, but 30 a day?
Bro,
You know
there was
what?
a blind and
Assume,
deaf
no.
Shih Tzu.
Assume I'm blind. Google it yourselves.
All right, then I will. How many dogs do the police kill? We'll say per year. It is difficult to determine the exact number of dogs killed by police annually, but the estimate suggests it could be around 10,000 per year. This figure, often cited by the Justice Department officials, is based on the number of dogs shot by police officers. However, many law enforcement agencies do not track these incidents, making it challenging to collect accurate data, meaning that it's higher than that. That's insane. That's insane. Why is that an oof? Why is this an oof? Are you one of these? Don't do your own research. Doing your own research is bad. Like what? Who's that? Brian Stelter. Matthew said that's one of the steps. Not the answer completely. They also need psychological training and legit firearm training. They train more than cops do. That is sad. Great. Fully. Great. But yeah, Dylan, what say more on this?
that happens.
Assume I'm
at 30 days.
you know
There was
what?
a blind and
Assume
deaf Shih Tzu.
Assume I'm blind. Google it yourselves.
There was
That's
a
a lot
blind
of dogs.
And deaf.
There
First
was a
of all,
blind and deaf 13-pound Shih Tzu
Poodle.
running in circles, and the cop just shot it twice.
on video because it was coming right for him.
It's coming right for us.
No, it was literally just running in circles.
Oh, Tim doesn't get the joke. Oh, they're coming right for us. Does anybody else not get that reference? They're coming right for us.
Because it was coming right for him.
No, it was literally just running in circles.
He's joking. Hold on.
No, but like,
first of all, those numbers are inflated, and we call them ex-wives, not dogs.
all right.
All right, Dante, what do you got?
No, actually, those numbers are deflated, as Google AI told us.
Of course, brother.
If a cop engaged in domestic violence, he will have no repercussions.
Oh, that's a fucking lie.
Dante, let's go. Speaking of the
Is it?
I'm a cop.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? One of the only black people here, probably most likely. First of all, I want to give a shout out.
Get out, leave. No, I'm kidding. No, we're kidding. We're kidding.
You're in the wrong neighborhood, boy.
I want to give a shout out to my lady, Madeline. I'm sure quite a few people know her. She's been in the Discord. She's been making hell and all that stuff for myself.
She's been sucking all them dicks. All right, so this is going to be the last one, guys. This is going to be the last one. And then we're headed to the after party. Remember, even if you are not a member, click that link at the top of the chat to get a free pass.
I guess I don't really have a question. Well, it kind of is a question. I believe in a little bit more self-policing. I think smaller communities is kind of what we need to go to. What would you guys want to see for self-policing? Like, what would be the extent that citizens would do their own self-policing? How would that be structured? And what do we want to roll back when it comes to police? Because I think we do overextend ourselves when it comes to police. The dependency. I just hear people expect other men to.
I got that. I feel like dudes should not wear Crocs. You can't,
Amen.
You can't defend. You can't defend.
To be honest, I've never understood the obsession with Crocs. Like, why do people either love them or hate them?
And shit with those fucking things on.
You know what you do? You call the fashion police on that.
It comes from the movie Idiocracy, by the way, Crocs. So you should watch that movie. That's where it came from.
What's that? Did I just get threatened by a guy with Crocs?
No, I'm not wearing Crocs, but I'm just saying.
He's
it
a
comes
crocodile
from
hunter.
Man, that's good.
And I'm a stingray.
Yeah, I'm scared of those fuckers.
You should be. They're terrifying.
All right. I think Michael's position is everybody gets a pitchfork and a torch.
My position is I wrote an article years ago about gun mandates, meaning you're mandated to own a gun.
I like that, man.
Based. All right, guys. Are we? Is somebody gonna send in 99 cents, or is the party over?
Hey, all right, our next challenger or person who wants to ask a question, the one, the only, Edgar the Puppet. Is Edgar the Puppet here? Come on down.
All right. We'll keep the puppet. We'll go with the puppet.
I know Michael loves talking to
As long as
puppets.
it's not a
Like,
puppet.
as
Can't stand it.
Michael, you hate humans. You're really gonna hate this next
Officer,
guy.
I said, I feel attacked. I'm wearing Crocs right now, but I'm camping. They're great slip-ons. I mean, I don't think they're particularly, good looking, but they're who fucking cares what your shoes look like? Like I wear Uggs all year round because they're fucking comfy.
Thanks a lot, loves puppets.
Okay, all right, well, good. Hopefully
right.
this is enjoyable.
Yeah, this is super creepy, but we're gonna do this.
I am not creepy, bitch. Anyway, listen, I want to congratulate Alex Stein on his Ozempic use and Tim for having a great choice of headwear, Michael for looking like Saddam Hussein, and the two bald bookends just for showing up. Thank you. All right, Michael, I think, look, you've raised some good points, but look, man, you are from the US fucking R, USSR, whatever, how many initials, I forget. I think you got a lot of, I think between the NKVD and the KGB, I think you got a lot of generational trauma that you're still dealing with, Michael. I might be wrong. We can hug it out later if you want.
Can't.
Yeah,
I don't want.
I am not a cop.
Do not
I'm
want.
not a cop. You want a puppet hug, Michael.
I do.
You do, bitch. You need a big, firm puppet hug. I will let you put your hand in my puppet hole if you're extra gentle.
Search his puppet hole so hard.
I'm sorry, I don't do gentle.
All
No
right.
safe words.
Listen. I think
safe words.
No. I don't listen to cops, and that's what you have identified yourself as a cop today. So you got zero respect from
You
me.
should listen to them. You shouldn't talk to them. It's not the same.
Listen,
You sound like my wife.
I think.
I'm
I think you-
sorry. I'm sorry. It'll be ready tomorrow.
You sound like me now.
Listen, okay. All of you, in a recent episode of my wonderful YouTube channel, Ask America with Edgar, I was kicked out of the National Zoo lately. I was by police officers. I was unfortunately racially profiling animals, and they did not like that, and they kicked my ass out. I encourage you to view the episode because YouTube is throttling it big time. Regardless, though, those cops were friendly. They were doing their job as they ushered me out and threw me onto the street. So, Rich, not all of them are bad.
They're not all bad, but the point is, if someone friendly,
And again, I agree. Not all of them are bad. I don't believe that it is such that if you are a cop, you are inherently a bad person. I think that doing what needs to be done as a cop, to use Michael's words, steals some of your soul. It's not a matter of you being a bad person. It's about the structure that you're a part of, the system that you're a part of. And you're upholding that, the thin blue line. That should not be a thing. The thin blue line tells me that it's you versus me. And if you got to come back up your buddy, you're taking his side. I don't, as Michael said, I don't misunderstand that. I would probably be the same way, but I'm not in that position. So fuck you.
So, Rich, not all of them are bad.
they're not all bad. But the point is, if someone friendly tells you can't see your mom in the nursing home as she dies, it's not the attitude that's the problem. It's they're doing their job correctly.
Exactly. It's not the attitude that matters. It's what you're saying and what you're doing.
Everyone,
doctors, though.
Michael, everyone
can help themselves.
Michael, everyone during COVID was being an absolute cockhole, except for everyone in this room.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So then it doesn't matter if you were a cockhole because everyone was doing it.
Everyone.
That doesn't.
So
who the fuck can't? Wait a minute. If everyone is being a cockhole, they're being a cockhole. Doesn't excuse them. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm not saying. I think that you might be steering us towards some sort of libertarian madness where there aren't enough rules. I think somehow we have to find a middle ground. Maybe
What does that even mean? What kind of rules are there if you want to say hi to your mom in the nursing home? The rule: sign in and show ID. That's the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
But that's not what happened, is it? Even though they were probably very nice. Listen, unfortunately, you can't go see your dying mother. Unfortunately, that bitch is gonna die alone. But I'm so sorry. That doesn't make it better. That doesn't make it better.
You don't go to jail because you don't want her to, because she doesn't want to die alone.
Exactly.
Yeah. I didn't hear that.
Then
Never
you
mind.
let them in because walls don't work.
Yeah. I think somehow before the end of the evening, I would like to see you and Rich kiss. That's all. I just want to get down to that home point.
Yikes! What a note to end on! Let's shout out our donations. We had TV viewers, and of course our sponsor of the stream, as always. No push-ups for me. Fuck all of you, except for TV and Bugmaster. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So very, very much. We'll give Morty an extra one because he likes the sound of the thing, and I'm gonna try and fix that so he hopefully won't hear anything except me yelling soon. But thank you, thank you, thank you. So this motherfucker, Trey Williams, the savior. Everybody better like that fucking super chat. Everybody better like that fucking super chat. Trey is the only reason the party rages on. Thank you so very, very much, sir, and welcome to the party. No question, no comment, just pure love of the game and the Overlord. Thank you so very, very much. And oh my goodness, we got Guamtech. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Very good to see you guys. We were this close. We were this close to heading out. And Trey saved the day. Guamtech said, like, and shared. Thank you so very, very much. Again, you guys know how much that helps. It doesn't even matter if you think anybody's going to click on the link. Just by you telling YouTube, X, or Rumble that you want more people to see it, more people will see it. As promised, we got Guamtech in the house. As promised, the party rages on.
Before the end of the evening, I would like to see you and Rich kiss. That's all. I just want to get down to that home point.
I'm going to start keeping kosher again to make sure it doesn't happen.
All right. All right. Well, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. Give it up for Edgar the Puppet, everybody.
Oh, yeah. My app.
In a few minutes.
Otherwise,
Yes.
I would have stayed home. And
Give it up for Ed Woman already. Hurry.
No, that's right over
down.
here. Ominous X we have on the floor here. You have 1 minute.
Not sure what my question is.
Then why are you here?
Wait, what?
You got anything for us?
I'm just like a pretty girl, so like I just do things that like I don't really know what I'm doing. But like, do you guys have any questions for me? I would not be surprised.
Why did you put your name in the bucket?
Well, I told them all
I
to.
didn't.
Listen,
Don,
you
you
were
did.
pulled over by a cop before, not knowing what the fuck was going on. Now is your time to ask that question. He's right here. Tell him how you feel.
Tell me how I feel.
Thank you again, Trey.
Tell him how small his dick is.
It's like a thimble.
Tell him how he has to do this job because he has a potential. A big word for violence.
Okay. So here's my question for Michael.
You know very, very, very little about camera work. I'm a puppet named Morty. How do we not show the puppeteer? They just focused on the puppet and not on the guy.
Word for violence.
Okay. So here's my question for Michael is how are police a necessary evil as they enforce our freedom and they help us keep our freedom?
Okay, so you did have a question. Now, I'm not sure if she's asking why, like, why do you say they are a necessary evil, or why do you say they are a necessary evil? I'm not sure which way she's going with this, but we're finna find out.
As they enforce our freedom and they help us keep our freedom.
Wait, I don't understand the question.
Why are police a necessary evil?
I was saying
Right. So why are they a necessary evil, or why are they a necessary evil?
for the sake of this debate, I'll say the police are necessary evil because people are of the belief, and I'm not going to argue against that today, that but for the police, we would have like a 2020 with 24/7.
So you're avoiding my question?
Sure. I don't understand the question, to be honest. Which part? What part are you confused about? The necessary part or the
There
evil
you
part?
go. And this is why we talk about articulation and understanding each other and all of that stuff. Because we could just go like, yeah, whatever, bitch, bye. But to be able to articulate, I don't understand which part you're asking about, the necessary part or the evil part. That gets us to what we want to know.
I don't understand the question, to be honest. Which part? What part are you confused about? The necessary part or the evil part?
A necessary evil. I think they're necessary, and I don't.
Honey, honey,
think they're doing anything that goes against what Americans do believe in.
Okay, a lot of Americans believe in stupid things. A lot of Americans thought that if you stand
Right.
6 feet apart, you can't catch a disease, which makes absolutely no sense, right? A lot of Americans, 48% of them, thought Officer Harris would be a great president. I strongly disagree, and half of those people would be on your jury if you were facing one. So keep that in mind if you're going to fight a charge.
Mike, real quick, 98% on your jury in DC.
Well, I'm sure in DC, right? Yeah,
You're
yeah,
going
okay.
to prison.
Yeah, you're right.
If you're conservative and you've gotten arrested in DC, you going down.
As to why they're an evil, the point is, if someone is a sociopath, as I think all politicians are, and you take it as your job, I'm not a sociopath, I'm just going to do whatever they tell me to do. That's
You're
not
a
the actions of a
sociopath.
moral person. That's the actions of someone who's handed over their conscience to people who they know are evil or may not know are evil human beings.
Well, I think police officers take the job because I think they're doing something to help people.
That's true. I think,
and people can think that they're helping when they're not. Like Kathy Hochul talking about how black people are so downtrodden and we need to help black people because some kids don't even know not how to use a computer. They don't even know what a computer is. She was trying to help. But
a lot of, but just, you know what? Here's another example, the military. A lot of people, and probably some in this room, join the military because they think, okay, I want to protect my country. I want to, help my community. I want to keep America free and safe. And that's very commendable. And then many people in the military are like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Or college. A lot of people take out hundreds of thousands of dollars in loans to go to college because they think that is a necessary thing for them. And then they realize not quite. Trey said, regardless of how I might feel about the police, they are definitely a necessary evil of the fact that a lot of people stop them from committing crimes in fear of prison. Agreed. Agreed. I don't know if you were here earlier, but at the start of the stream, I did a poll that I let run for a while. And, I was saying, if you have to pick, excuse me, you can't be 50-50. You have to either pick a side of pro-cop or anti-cop with no other information. Pro-cop or anti-cop. 85% of people said pro-cop. And a lot of people were saying, well, I interpreted anti-cop as having no cops, but and I didn't specify, but I could never. My assumption is that cops do too much of what they're not supposed to do for me to be pro-cop. I am pro-law. I am I'm pro-law. I'm not necessarily pro the way it is currently being enforced. Gonzek said, I like Michael Malice, but he's honestly being a royal fuck in this one. I can see where he's coming from, but it just wasn't a good look. Agreed. And I mean, outside of, the look, if you have these ideas and you want to spread them, and again, I expected that the pro or anti-cop poll, I expected you guys to be more pro-cop than anti, but I expected to be, closer to 60-40 than 85-15. And so we can extrapolate that the room is probably even slightly more to the right and therefore slightly more in favor of cops than I am. And he had the opportunity to convince some people. Who was it before talking about when he was on PBD? And I don't necessarily agree, but I can respect where he's coming from. I can respect his views. And I don't know why. And it undercuts your no, I'm serious. The cops are bad. When you're wearing a fucking porn stash. What are we doing? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, perfect there. But it's mismatching.
My community, I want to keep America free and safe, and that's very commendable. And then many people in the military are like, what the fuck am I doing here? I was completely lied to. But the thing is, you can't quit the military because you're going to get court-martialed, possibly go to jail, but you can quit the police force at any time.
As many did during COVID for reasons said before.
How many of them walked during COVID? Very, very few. There were more.
That's not true at all. Let's go to ChatGPT. I'll say, can you give me a percentage of all working police officers that quit their job while lockdown measures were in place. Fucking enter button. The fucking enter button. So yeah, a percentage of all working police officers that quit their job while lockdown measures were in place. So looking at percentage of working police officers who quit their jobs during the lockdown measures. Here's what the data shows. Labor statistics indicate that police forces lost less than 1%, compared with a 6% decline across a broader U.S. labor market. The Police Executive Research Forum reported that from April 2020 to March 2021, resignations climbed 18% year over year, and retirements rose to 85%. Maybe I think that was a big aspect of it too, is that early retirement or just retirement in general. However, these percentages refer to the increase in resignation requirements, not the overall quit rate. So let's just go. I just want a number of people who left the force, whether quitting or resignation during the lockdown era. Resignation. Concrete count of how many people lost their job. 11,000 left between March 20 and 21. This figure represents net departures, including resignations. The Census Bureau corroborates that overall employment in the state and local law enforcement fell. Overall employment in the state and local law enforcement fell about 1% during the same period. So that's the number that they are trying to be like, no, it wasn't that much. It was just 1%. 10 major departments found an 18% increase. We saw that one already. This includes 24% more resignations and 14% more requirements. Seattle saw 118. Chicago reported 400 requirements and 477 retirements in 2020 and 552 in 2021. That's a 19% rise, along with a 206 spike in voluntary resignations. So, I mean, kind of, yeah, they did. A shit ton of police officers were like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
The police force at any time. And how many of them walked during COVID? Very, very few. They were more than happy to tell you, fuck you, you're not going to be able to say goodbye to your loved ones because I need my paycheck.
Oh, well, there was definitely a lot of cops who were like, fuck you, I don't care, I'm getting my paycheck. But to act like there wasn't an exodus is wrong.
All right, thank you, Madeline. Now our next person, give it up for Madeline, everybody. Now our next guy, I like this already, Joey Cannoli.
Yeah!
The worst dessert.
Let's go, Joey.
He called in on the show.
What's wrong with fucking cannolis?
Everybody likes sugar cheese.
All right, Joey, you got 1 minute, bro.
Another flat brim.
Yo, what the fuck is up, Timcast?
Yo.
So I've been thinking about how how laws are ridiculous. I think the laws literally only exist so the government can come after normal citizens.
I'm okay with this guy so far.
Because every time like a politician or a big corporation breaks a fucking law, like you have to have like a grocery list of things to go after them for. But when it's a normal citizen knocking over a fence at the Capitol, they will fucking track you down.
Great point, CT. Great point. It's less the actual raw numbers and who retired. It was the 30-year veterans. So, and that's what the other guy, the first stone motherfucker, was like, oh, this dude's mad young, yo. Great point. Great point. And this is why the whole story is not told in the numbers. Source. Did I get this one? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's definitely Yeah, right. I mean, I'm allergic to pistachio, so a lot of times they put pistachio on it. But take the pistachio off, and what's wrong with cannoli?
After them for, but when it's a normal citizen knocking over a fence at the Capitol, they will fucking track you down.
What was the question?
There is no question. I'm making a statement.
Hell yeah.
Come on down, Joey. Come on down for 3 minutes. Hurry, get your ass down here.
All right, we're not asking a question. Get you on stage.
Guys, give it up for Joey. He's going up.
For Joey. All right, Joey.
You know, there was a
holy shit, that is bright.
All right, Joey.
Look how fucking bright that shit is. That is wild. I mean, I got two very bright white lights over here and then a warmer one here, and then, obviously I got the brightness on my screens up, but god damn.
You know, there was a report that I've said before from 2005. I think it was.
Is that Joey?
That's
Joey Cannoli. Hey, nice to meet you.
Citigroup said that we live in a plutonomy where the interests of the public don't matter. And if the majority of the people said something should be illegal, politicians don't give a shit. But if around 30% of wealthy individuals decide it's illegal, it will be. So big corporations, politicians, powerful unions never get held accountable. But regular people will get tossed in jail for jaywalking.
Two-tier justice system, yeah.
Which brings me back
I mean, maybe jaywalking is an extreme example, but point taken.
to my original point. Don't wear Crocs.
Oh, these aren't Crocs.
If you
Joey, what do you got for us?
Matthew.
I'm just thinking about like how it's wild how
There you
we
go.
like to come up with this big laundry list of things to arrest some politicians or corporate leaders on because they constantly break the law all the fucking time.
Here's why it's not the cop's fault necessarily.
Oh, I don't care about
because
the cops.
Stop.
Oh, wait. Okay. I need to hear that again. I was looking for the thing with Guamtech talking about the bad camera angles.
For us, Joey.
I'm just thinking about like how it's wild how we need like to come up with this big laundry list of things to arrest some politicians or corporate leaders on because they constantly break the law all the fucking time.
Here's why it's not the cop's
Yeah, but they're better than you. You're just nobody. They're important.
fault necessarily.
Oh, I don't care about
because
the
the-
cops.
Stop the fucking presses.
Yep, if the politicians passed the law to stop the presses, the cops would be more than happy to enforce
Yeah,
it.
of
They have
course.
no respect for any amendments, including the first or the
Well,
second.
That was a good one.
Because the First Amendment also included the right to peaceably assemble, and that was never enforced during COVID.
Oh, Tim's got the
I gotta
hand
stop
up.
you there, Michael, because you're wrong. The police had no problem during COVID enforcing things that weren't even laws.
Oh, that's correct. Sure. In fact,
Not even laws, edicts, decrees from city politicians. With a gun to your head. With a gun to your fucking head.
you and I got into an argument on your show because I was calling something law. You're like, shut up. No, it's not a law. It's what was it, like an edict?
Yep.
Which one? I don't know.
Governor from New York. She had some kind of Kathy Hochul. She
Yeah,
had some kind of rule.
Decree.
Right.
And you're like, it's not a law. Stop calling it a law.
Fucking
It was
right.
not even level of law.
She
Yeah.
just decreed.
Decreed. Yeah.
Decree.
Yeah.
And the cops were like, you got it.
So the point I was making with
You
Joey's
got it,
point
boss.
is wealthy people will always have better access to justice because they're going to have better lawyers.
Yeah.
And there's nothing.
Actually, I want to stop there because not stop in general, but just stop real quick because I want to bring this back up. What CT was talking about, and they're talking about these
Decree.
Yeah.
And the cops were like, you got it.
the 20, 30-year veterans would not be. You got it on a decree. So this is a very important addition to the point that we were making.
So the point I was making with Joey's
got it,
point
boss.
is wealthy people will always have better access to justice because they're going to have better lawyers.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do around it unless you go full communist and just have everyone have a shitty.
Oh,
lawyer.
bro, it gets better than that. They don't even need the lawyers.
That's true,
Sometimes
too. Yeah.
when the prosecutors find out they're going up against a guy with millions of dollars, they say, are we going to be able to win this?
Yeah.
Why are we going to waste the resources?
So that's like part of the problem is that like there's no enforcement wing against people who have a lot of assets and wealth. There's almost nothing.
Unless it's a public spectrum.
Remember, guys, $18 and I'm on the floor. $18 and I'm on the floor.
Unless it's something like they can like actually, like if, for example, Donald Trump, like they would obviously he's trying to go at the system, so of course they're gonna try to do all they can.
What
but-
if real quick, what if we just got rid of the rich people and took all their stuff
Yeah.
and distributed it evenly among everybody?
Well, no, he has a.
Oh, Tim, that was good. That was good.
They're gonna try to do all they can.
What if
but-
real quick, what if we just got rid of the rich people and took all their stuff
Yeah.
and distributed it evenly among everybody?
Well, no, he has a. He has a good point, though. well, I want to say my very good friend Joe Exotic, the Tiger King. You know, we love him, but he got famous after he went to prison. If he would have gotten famous before and he had the money to actually fight in his case with a good criminal defense attorney, his outcome would have been totally different.
And he almost got pardoned by Trump.
Oh, come on.
Hold the fucking phone. TD saying almost like it was part of the plan. They offered early pensions, get the good veteran cops out so they could bring in young guys that follow orders. Sounds like something the government would do. Obviously, we don't have a source. We don't have proof because nobody wrote on a letterhead from the White House, we're going to offer early pensions to get the veteran cops out so we can bring in young guys that follow orders. Where's your source, bro? Just trust me? Or just like things making sense?
It's easy to get pardoned. Trump pardoned Joe Exotic. You let Kodak Black out.
Hold on. But he didn't get pardoned because he had money. He got pardoned because he was in the public sector. It's different than money.
Oh, you're gonna say
We're talking about Kodak Black.
Matthew said, this is the catch. The cops need certain protection from the government or even the public, but I don't trust them to not abuse it. They need the right to tell the governors to pound sand. They have the right to do so. I don't know exactly what the process is, but I'm almost sure. We'll ask, but I'm pretty goddamn sure that there is a procedure of if you get unlawful orders and without any supposedly without any legal repercussions. So let's say if a beat cop gets an unlawful order from a superior, what is the legal mechanism for that cop to disobey orders lawfully? It's a good point, sir. A good point. So there is no single magic form or button a beat cop can press to disobey an unlawful order, but there are well-established legal and procedural principles that let them refuse without committing insubordination. So legal foundation, constitutional supremacy under the Article 5, federal and state laws, especially all that overrides that. Following orders is not a defense if the order is unlawful. This is grounded in case law going back to the Nuremberg principles and reinforced U.S. law. The lawful order requirement in policy. Every police department's rules of conduct explicitly say officers must follow lawful orders. Most also state that if an order is unlawful, the officer has both the right and the duty to refuse. Okay, but clarify politely but firmly ask the superior to repeat or clarify the order. Are you directing me to arrest this person without probable cause? State the conflict. That would violate state and refuse. They can still follow any lawful parts of the same instruction. Document immediately. Report up the chain. So, is it reasonable based on how law enforcement Jesus Christ works that a beat cop would have a huge burden of proof in order to disobey their superior? Is it reasonable based on how law enforcement works that a beat cop would have a huge burden of proof, making it more likely that they just go along with the order? Let's see. Well, see, the Edinburgh work there. So yes, in practice, it's absolutely reasonable to say that a beat cop faces huge practical burden when deciding to disobey a superior, even if the law and policy technically won't allow it. Here's why. Policy versus reality. On paper, the standard is follow all lawful orders. Unlawful orders should be refused. No burden of proof is supposed to exist beyond the officer's own reasonable judgment. In reality, the officer will almost certainly need to justify their refusal after the fact to superiors, internal affairs, and court. That means they have to be able to point to a clear, articulable reason that the order was illegal in the moment, often under stress, in front of peers with incomplete information. So, I mean, there's more here, but like, yes, it is it is built into the law that if you are given unlawful orders, that you can disobey that. But in reality, if you disobey an order, you're probably going to get fired. That's about it. See, these are kind of on topic for this video. You see you all see Trump federalized the DC cops and brought in National Guard to remove homeless people. Not sure if I agree, but it is interesting. I'm usually more on the side of we need to address homelessness. I don't know the details, but usually I'm more on the side of we can't just have people out there. I mean, y'all that go to church be fucking paying your tithes for all this fucking charity bullshit. Where's that going? At least it sounds like a theoretical. You might win for the wrongful termination case, but still be fired. Exactly. And so at the point of when you've gotten that order, then you're like, okay, I understand that this is an unlawful order. If I go along with it, it is immoral, but might just be another day on the job. Whereas, if I actually fight this, I'm probably going to get fired, and maybe I get a wrongful termination case. And so what does that mean? That means that cops are more likely to follow unlawful laws or unlawful orders than to fight them. That's it.
But this is a good
Joe
point.
Exotic hasn't been pardoned. We need him to get pardoned.
This is a good point you bring up, though, Rich. Currency isn't just cash. There's
All right,
social
get out of here,
currency as
Joey.
well.
Thank you, guys. Give it up for Joey.
Thanks, Joe.
Good question, Joe. Good question. And we are now past 3 hours, if you guys would like.
Cultural issues, I think, is a big problem. People who have large followings get what they want from corporations, from governments, because they can create fear of public pressure.
All right. So to kind of go against what he was saying, where he's like, everybody that's got a bunch of money gets arrested, but they get away with it. A lot of people with no money get arrested and get away with it.
It's true.
If you go to
New
York State, specifically the city of Buffalo, the one that I police, the amount of people that get picked up with illegal firearms, not to say that they're carrying concealed in a legal manner. I'm saying like people that do it in like for drug sales, for other illegal activities, parts of gangs, their intent is to shoot another person, right? The amount of people that get youthful offender status, juvenile offender status, and have the second or third or fourth gun thrown away because they're from a socio-economical people, and
it's called the Second Amendment.
No. I'm saying because of crimes they committed, not because they're carrying it.
Okay.
I'm saying specifically because of gang violence. Well, honing in just on gang violence and drug activity. The amount of people that have no money that get public defenders, where the prosecutor's office, the district attorney's office is like, there's too fucking many of them. We're gonna drop down there. I put a gun to a guy's head and said, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and then the cop showed up and stopped him, and we're gonna knock it down to attempted assault. So many thousands more than Enron, who eventually got caught.
You can take everything you said to the bank as gospel because it's completely true. And that's really, really scary because if everyone in this room, I was just naive. I thought if something happens to me, I go to DA and they're going to pursue it. And the amount of crimes, like actual like indisputable crimes that
on video
that DAs pursue is such a small number.
Correct.
So it's this justice system is just there as a wealth extraction mechanism for the people in government. It is not there to keep you safe. Please carry and have a firearm.
Stay safe, brother. Thank you so very, very much.
So the funny thing about all of this is that I could be wrong.
You lost me at wealth extraction, but okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that if every single person who went before a judge on a crime requested a jury trial, the system would implode.
Can't happen
because it takes a lot of time. You have to do
impossible.
You do a lot of stuff, and
which means that they anticipate that you will take a plea bargain. They anticipate that, oh, you don't want to have to go through a whole trial, right? I know you may or may not have done this, but if you just sign this paper, you're good to go. The exact same inverse of what we were just talking about with the cops.
Officer, law enforcement. Yes, some of these people are made up of people that are inside of your community, which are dumb. And a specific example is we had a gang rape on video, Facebook live streamed, and of a special needs girl who was 16. What? The video of it, and 5 guys were involved. 2 of them were juveniles, and the kidnapping was thrown out. Or I'm sorry, the rape was thrown out, but the kidnapping stood because one person thought that even though she was kidnapped, she could still consent to sex. What? I'm 100% serious. One person thought that even though you're kidnapped, you can still consent to sex. So that person would not go forward with the rape charges of the 5 people that raped a special needs girl on camera with her crying, "No, stop, that hurts."
I'm starting to hate human beings again.
It's pretty easy to.
All right, AK.
We know that Tim is black pill.
Roman Nation. AK
Is that
Roman.
it? All right, guys. That is 3 hours. Oh, my goodness. CT said kind of on top. Did we get this already? Oh, yeah. We saw that one. And yeah, it was all right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you so very, very much. Shout out to TV Viewerski getting us started. We had Trey saving the party, giving us another half an hour. See, I don't even care if it's 5, 10, just something. We'll make it. And of course, our sponsor of the stream, Funk Master General. Right now, Trey, you are the top fan aside from Funkmaster, who's taken himself out of the running. So make sure you take that down, because if you get 5, then that is some free merch. Guys, I hope to see you over in the after party. Click that link at the top of the chat. And even if you're not a member, you will see you will be able to get in and hang out for the night. So thank you so very, very much for hanging out. A big shout out to all of the disciples, and of course a big shout out to all of the donations. Guys, I love you. Once again, we've got the Overlord Morty, and I have been your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Guys, if you are new here, please do hit that subscribe. We are live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. I was live last night. They age restricted it because I was, but you know, it is what it is. We do what we do. Until next time, guys, thank you again. We are out of here. Peace.